Running.
Don't even put that out there, player. Yo, we're back. This is Runnin Point, episode 17. That's Steve, Ronnie, Serge.
What's going on?
Today's rundown is going to be Celtics bad. We're finally here. Finals game, game one. Recap. Who's Bron's best running mate? Is Jeannie Buss looking for a new Pat Riley or her version of Pat Riley? And we're going to end with game points. So we got Nick Cannon insured his balls for $10 million and all that. Vince McMahon possibly might be banned from the WWE. We're going to obviously talk about the Stinger of the Week and all that. So let's get into it, guys. So, I mean, game one. What's your takeaway, Steve?
Celtics did what they were supposed to do. They defended home emphatically. I think the surprise of the game was Porzingis showing up the way he did. I don't think anyone in the building.
Shout out to you.
Yeah, I mean,
episode 16. Go check that out.
The way Porzingis played, I'm sure he made every New York Knicks fan miss him.
This nigga.
Buyout. But no, I like that the Mavs didn't give up because they was completely getting killed out there, and they were able to cut it down to 8. I think before the end of the fourth quarter.
During the third, yeah.
During the third,
halftime. After halftime.
Kyrie just didn't have a good game. Kyrie was missing a lot of open shots, layups. He was trying to keep himself engaged, which I saw. He did not quit. He just had an off night. Kyrie had an off night. I think if Kyrie had hit, especially leading up to when they came back with an 8, Kyrie had missed maybe 2 or 3 wide open threes and a layup.
And a travel.
And he got called for a travel. Had those things, had he actually, completed those plays, they would have been up. And I was counting in my head. I'm like, damn, they would have been up like 5 points right now had Kyrie made those open shots and not traveled and made that layup. So I believe that this series is far from over. A lot more basketball to be played. Would have liked to have seen a lot more from Jason Tatum. It looked like it was Porzingis' team instead of Tatum's. But
I like that. Hot take.
Clip
it up, Ronnie.
He's kind of been coasting.
Clip it up, Ronnie.
He's been coasting this whole playoff series.
Can you speak it? I don't think Serge heard you. Can you say it again?
He's been coasting this whole playoff.
Okay, cool.
Series.
I heard him.
So I don't think that.
I know what you're referencing.
Yeah. So I mean, at this point, until they get punched in the mouth, maybe they lose the next game. Then maybe we'll see Jason Tatum. But right now, he's playing like it's not his team.
I mean, to your point, you picked Porzingis. I think Jaylen Brown did his thing.
He sure did.
He definitely is. He has an alpha personality, and it feels like he's just been holding it back because the markability of Jason Tatum and how the thing's been pushing.
Mm-hmm.
But Jason Tatum, I don't think he's been coasting. I think he just doesn't have an aggressive personality. You listen to his post-game, all post-game interviews. Like, he's always calm. He's always like he's not aggressive. But I do think he was trying to do his thing. Like, they play Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown completely different. Like, they put pressure on Jason Tatum. Like, every time he drives, he gets near the rim, there's 2 or 3 guys.
Mm-hmm.
So he was kicking it out. He had a couple of early turnovers. He seemed a little nervous. He said he was nervous. I commented when I seen him, like his first 3 possessions, every time he drove the ball, he would lose the ball or it would be a little shaky. So he said he was nervous, but...
Why do you think he's nervous if he's already been there before?
Pressure.
Okay.
Because he knows what...
He knows what his legacy's on the line.
Yeah, I think it's he is kind of young. You got to realize that. Like, his legacy is nowhere near done, written, or anything like that.
These are all being counted. If you watch LeBron and everything they've put LeBron through, right, in the media, every single thing that he's done has been counted towards his legacy, either for it or against it.
But no discredit to Jason Tatum. He's not a generational talent like a LeBron is. You know what I mean?
I think Boston and
he's not a face of the league either.
I think the city of Boston would like him to be more. I think he feels that also. Like,
okay,
that as talented as you are, you probably should be in the conversation for the face of the league. You've been to the finals already. You've been to the Eastern Conference a few times. You're young. You're the best player on the East. You're supposed to be the best player on your team, which is the best team on the East Coast, right? Why aren't you the face of the league? Like, what's holding you back? You light skin? Like, come on.
And I don't think it's just coming from his team. I think it's coming from the league.
Yeah.
Like, he's been getting a push from the league. So, but Jaylen Brown looked like he's in his zone where he's in his piece where he's ready to grab that. Like, if you ain't taking it, my nigga.
How many points did he have? He
didn't score a lot, but
22.
Yeah, he had like
he was playing defensively.
He had the second most points, right? Because Porzingis had the most.
Nah, he had the most.
He had the most.
Jalen,
he had a better first half.
Yeah. Well, Porzingis had 18 in the first half. Correct. Yeah. He went off in that first. Yeah. Listen, man, when you dunking and you hanging on the rim like that, oh man, like that. I don't know how the other team feels about that, but I'm watching it and I'm like, Dallas, get him off that. Get his ass off the rim like that. Why y'all letting him hang on? Somebody better get a technical foul or something.
Speaking of that, though, they were physical with Porzingis the entire night.
They sure
he
were.
was flailing all night.
He was also
he was scoring,
beat up by 6'2" guys.
But Derek Lively, every time they got together, he was always trying to make it a point to put his body on him.
But you have to because of the fact that he's coming off an injury.
No, absolutely.
I feel like also like they probably rested him the entire Eastern Conference Finals.
Yeah.
And so this was his like you alluded to in episode 16. It's like he played well. I mean, I can't take anything away from him, but let's see how the rest of the series plays out. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. I think for me, my perspective is like I feel like the Mavs were just young and inexperienced, and it showed.
Yeah,
like the Celtics have been there, and done that. But to your point, like Jason Tatum is, I don't know why he's nervous. You've been there before. Like you've been at the highest high, right?
It's a big game. I mean, lights is
regardless,
out.
Regardless, but you would think the Mavs played how you would expect them to. So you know what I mean? Like they got blown out. They kind of came back. They got their legs underneath them, and they just fell short. You know what I'm saying?
Kyrie been there though. He's a champ.
But not everyone else. Who else is there?
And you know, if Luka's dominating
that's why
the ball,
I picked the Celtics.
Right? Luka's dominating the ball. This is his very first finals, right? Even on the defensive end, these guys are letting a lot of things go by that they wouldn't typically, but they're nervous. Yeah. It's the finals. So had that lead been a little smaller, not letting it get as big as it did, there's a good chance they could have won that game.
But you also got to have confidence going into the second game. Like, oh, we got this. Like and you're young, so you're going to be resilient. You don't know any better, so you're going to play a little bit harder in game 2. That's why I said I feel like they're going to split. So I didn't expect a blowout, but I expected them to lose game 1, and I think they're going to recover in game 2 on Sunday.
Okay,
it should.
What do you think, Serge?
2-0 Celtics.
So why?
So is it the same game?
Did we watch the same game last night?
It's you got to break it down.
Serge, is it the same game that we saw?
It's not the same
or is it just
game.
A closer game, but they edge them out? What do you think?
I think it's a much closer game because you saw at halftime, it was a 29-point lead, and Luka almost single-handedly brought it back down to 8, comfortably, without using energy. It was nice, smooth plays. So, and
that's the scary part, no?
The scary part.
If he only did it by himself, he didn't include everyone else.
Yeah,
he did. It's just Kyrie wasn't.
I'm just saying. Yeah. I'm just saying. That's what I'm saying. Everyone wasn't clicking.
Yeah, but even
he's saying that to the point that you're saying that Celtics are going to win again.
Yeah.
Why?
Well, he's saying that because Luka was able to bring it back to a close game by himself.
Okay. Right. Okay. To your point, Jason Tatum has not played well, as you keep saying. Once he plays well,
has he? Like, why are you air quoting?
That's what you said.
He hasn't been. He hasn't been the aggressor. It's been Jaylen Brown's team the entire fucking playoffs.
All right. When he does. Because the point is to win the championship. When he does he need to do it?
Yes.
Not according to last night.
Single-handedly, Luka brought the team back, right?
Yes, almost by himself brought the team back.
So once Kyrie, you don't think Kyrie's gonna have a bad game too?
Bro, we was watching the same game. If Kyrie made a couple shots last night's game is a little different.
Kyrie has lost his last 11 or 12 against Boston.
Yeah, that is
including the sweep in the playoffs.
Whenever they show that stat line, it reverses. You ever notice if a team is undefeated against a certain team or a certain player?
What Lakers and Nuggets? We didn't beat them for 2 years. What were you saying?
Why are we
about
talking
that?
about the Lakers?
I'm using your point.
What's your point?
Why are we talking about that? All I'm saying is whenever the media kind of critiques this, like the stat line of like good versus evil, so to speak, or good versus bad, it always flips. The narrative always flips. If you ever notice.
I don't get what you're saying.
Let's just say, for instance, Luka's at the line. He shot 30 free throws. He made all 30. The announcer might say something. He might miss that 31st free throw. This is what happens in playoff series. This is what happens in games where they kind of like switch the narrative and things happen. Bro. So therefore, I think – so you're saying Kyrie's going to have a bad Game 2?
No, he'll have a better game too.
And then you got to think PJ Washington has never been there to anything. Daniel Gafford has never been anything. Derrick Jones. So they've taken their best shot.
They definitely didn't. They didn't look
forward.
like they were like, because you know how
They were shell shocked.
There's a defining win, like
Correct.
you get your ass whooped, and it's like, oh, this series is over. Like they're not recovering from that. It looked like they took their best shot and was like, okay, we lost this one, but we know.
And it's adjustments.
Yeah, it's game by game. And I don't know if y'all seen the halftime speech by Jason Kidd. I thought that also helped in the locker room, just letting them know that.
So what does that mean?
It's a game.
So are you siding with the Mavs or are you siding with the Celtics?
I'm siding with the Celtics. I'm giving you my observation.
I'm saying, well, why did you bring up the Jason Kidd situation?
To support his point of why it's the coaching.
So you don't think Jason Kidd is going to adjust?
Yes,
I'm confused.
he will. What do you mean? It's two
So
sides. It's an NBA
with Steve,
game.
but then you're still going
I'm
with
not
the Celtics.
siding with Steve. I'm giving you an observation.
I think that we got to put some Beyonces on this.
We're not doing none of that. All I'm saying is I feel like the Mavs are still in 7.
I just don't see one of y'all niggas do a Beyonce.
I don't think Jason Tatum is like that guy.
It doesn't matter.
It does matter.
No,
What do you mean?
It hasn't mattered.
You're saying that it doesn't
But it's
matter
the finals.
for the series, for winning,
bro.
right? I think it does matter
the
for his
game
career.
Is between the Celtics and the Mavs.
Right.
I understand your point,
Yeah.
but Tatum has the rest of his career to make those changes.
So you're saying he gets back? You feel like he gets? It's not easy to get back to the finals, dog.
I understand it's not
Regardless
easy to
of
get
anything,
back.
so you got to seize the moment. You got to seize the
I'm
day.
looking at history. They've been there how many times? They've been to the Eastern Conference
What
Finals.
does that have to do with
What if this
anything?
is like? What if?
You're
What if
asking
this
me
is
for
their
a
last
reason.
time?
That's my reason.
What if this is their last time?
That's what I'm saying.
Going to
We
the
don't know
final?
that. What if
But
it's
what
not?
if that's the point, my
If it
nigga?
is their last time going to the
You
finals,
gotta go.
it's more important that he wins the championship.
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying. You got to
It's
give it
more
your all,
important
my
that he-
nigga.
no,
What about
it's more
finals
important that he wins the
MVP?
It's more
championship.
important that he wins
You
the
got to
championship.
You got to give it your all. You got to be dominant in the fashion
You're
that
right.
you do it.
You're right.
No,
right.
it's not.
But second important is what?
No, you got to dominate, bro. You got to
'Cause he-
solidify
Yeah, he
yourself.
plays well.
Yeah,
So if he wins the championship and
Then he plays best.
and Kristaps Porzingis wins the MVP, that's good.
that's crazy.
I'm just asking a question.
It
Anybody other than him wins the MVP.
It would rather be Chris. He would rather it be Kristoff than Jaylen Brown.
but that's good,
What do
Nigga,
you
it's to
mean?
win a championship, bro.
bro. You got to be dominant, bro.
I get that no one's saying
That's
this
what I'm
is
saying.
Kristoff's team, so
Yeah.
it would be better if Kristoff won it for Tatum.
I understand. I
Because
understand Ronnie's
if-
viewpoint.
Because if it go the other way and my boy get it,
Yeah, it's Jaylen Brown's team.
it's
next
now
year.
Jaylen Brown's team. Like we gonna
But
give you this
is what we're
max
saying. The entire
contract.
They're always
And
they're still
what's
going
wrong with
to
that?
say it's Jalen Brown's team if Kristaps wins the chip.
I think that fans in Boston are gonna look at Jaylen Brown as like, yo, you got us this chip.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, certain fans, casual fans. I
no,
don't think
diehard fans will.
if you watch the game, they're defended differently. Jaylen Brown gets to go 1-on-1. He gets to get open shots.
Yep.
He gets these things. He gets the benefit of being a secondary player.
So what other
Jason Tatum doesn't do that.
what other great player hasn't been double teamed in the finals, bro? Like I feel like you're giving this nigga a pass.
I'm giving. That's a good point. It's a difference when you're comparing Jason Tatum to the other greats. But if we're talking about Jason Tatum versus Jaylen Brown, there's a clear difference in the way that they're played. So I'm not saying that Jason Tatum's on the level of Jordan's, Kobe.
But this is what the media
LeBron's.
does.
I mean, everybody could see that he's not.
Just saying.
So
So you're okay if he
right
doesn't win
now
MVP?
is the battle of who's the best on the team. The most important thing is the championship. Now, after the
I
championship,
don't think
which
so.
they both need to get, so they don't split them up and they have to leave. They both need that championship. Then it comes to bragging rights of Finals MVP.
Okay, let me ask you this question: does Jason Tatum have a defining moment in this finals?
I mean, it's only been one game, my nigga.
I'm asking a question. Does he solidify himself like, oh, he's one of them dudes?
He can.
Yeah, I think he could do that.
So what do you?
But I don't think
Yeah, you're searching for a reason not to like this
I
dude,
think
bro.
that
I'm not
he's-
searching for anything. I'm
He's
just
good.
asking a question.
He's definitely good enough to do that. But I will pose a question to you guys and you guys watching at home. So definitely leave a comment if you're a Boston fan, even if you're not. If the series continues the way it is, and Tatum doesn't really take over the series, he's kind of like the second or third fiddle. Who do you think the team belongs to? That's the real question, right? Like, whose team is this? Is it Tatum's or is it my boys?
Joe Mazzulla's in the running.
for his team.
Yeah.
That's understandable.
Yeah. So leave a comment. Let us know.
Because what
you
other?
think.
Let's just say first, what other sidekick right has said like about time he showed up to a
Right.
superstar? Who's ever said that publicly? I don't know if it's like in a negative manner. You could take it that way, right? But like, who says that? All that shit is in the locker room. You keep that shit in the locker room. You don't have that outside sources.
Yo, fill me in. What happened?
So at a press conference or on the podium, he was just like, about time Jason Tatum showed up. And again, I forget what game it was against the Pacers. Jaylen Brown.
Sheesh.
He said that in a post-game interview, and it wasn't even to that.
But again,
it wasn't as harsh.
It wasn't to that.
But it does. But
What
again,
if Kobe had said that about Shaq?
Like you don't do that in the media.
You know what I'm saying?
Keep everything in house.
Yeah, but like
It's 2024,
that's
bro.
a great example.
In-house.
That's a great example. If Kobe did say that about Shaq, right? You would look at it as Kobe being Kobe and his personality. You wouldn't look at it as Kobe taking over the team and it's no longer Shaq's team. That's Jaylen Brown's personality, which is part of the reason why he's not marketable, is because he's that type of nigga. You know what I'm saying? So it can be looked at as him saying it and it not be like, oh, he's taking over the team or trying to wrestle it away from Jason. But to your point, who actually says that?
Who says
That's
that?
what I'm asking.
Yeah.
You don't say that against with your boy or you just keep that shit in the locker room. If you have a disagreement, keep it in the locker room.
I mean, I couldn't even imagine like Paul Pierce saying that about KG, you know?
Right.
Bro, in the context that he said it in, it wasn't even that bad.
But again, it's not. It's just the fact that you say
it's
it,
a different
bro.
context.
It was
But
a completely
I'm
different.
But you say it. Don't allow the media to debate you into
He's
saying
right.
what, regardless
But
of
you said
anything.
right.
All right,
Don't allow them to debate you.
I feel you, but
That's all.
what else have you heard that? Like nobody's been talking about that statement since Jaylen Brown made it.
I heard it.
Exactly.
I heard people talk about it. But it is
Just
not.
because you haven't heard it doesn't mean it's not. We've heard it. And we're
But they
bringing light
talked
to it.
about it the same way that we've talked about it.
But
Like that he said it, but it wasn't technically in
And
that.
it's kind of obvious
context.
when the media is trying to create dissension on a team.
Yeah.
And I don't think that that's the agenda for the NBA. The NBA would not like the media to create dissension on the Boston Celtics, right?
Mhm.
The NBA is much better when the Celtics are in the playoffs, when the Knicks and the Lakers are in the playoffs. Like,
That's a fact.
it's just a better league. So
Yeah.
I think it would be kind of like a shot at the NBA if the media started to like play that rendition of, hey, like there's dissension in the locker room, even though there might be.
I think they
You
have
know?
to because I think that honestly the finals, both sides didn't go as expected. They didn't go as long, so they need a filler of some sort to kind of build up to the finals of what they're doing.
Well, I mean,
Whether good or bad.
You know, we haven't talked about. We
What's that?
haven't talked about Kyrie used to be on the Celtics,
Exactly.
right? So that's a storyline. He was unsuccessful with this team,
Yeah.
in winning a chip.
Being the guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
So why do you think he's 0-11 or whatever it is, 0-12?
It could just be that they know him, they're familiar with him, they played him a lot. It could just be the schemes that they run on Kyrie, and some teams might have a player's number when they play as a team.
And some players are just bad against certain teams.
Do you think it's mental? But from this sense, because he's talked about recently that during his time on the Celtics, he had a death in the family or somebody close. Do you think like he's just not comfortable with his time? Like something about the Celtics, the arena, he was saging the arena.
Yeah.
Like something about it
The
is
aura.
just off to him.
He could be. I mean, hearing and knowing Kyrie, I mean, the guy thinks the earth is flat, so he could be superstitious about certain
Yeah.
things. Like, I definitely could see that in Kyrie and his personality.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he could definitely like get in his own head. I mean, he's such a talented player that the only person that could really stop him is him.
Yeah.
You know?
But I also think though the fact of like Boston being such a racist town, so we don't know what's being said to him while he's playing the game. So you know what I mean? Like not giving him a pass for it. But to your point, like it's him versus him out there.
Mhm.
No one else can stop him. It's just he's got to get out of his own head. This is the biggest moment. He's played in the biggest moment. He's hit the biggest shot in the biggest moment. So I think he's going to adjust, and I think he's going to play well. And I still stand on the fact that he's going to go for the MVP.
I mean, I'm with you that no one
Yeah.
could stop him,
Yeah.
but they are playing pretty good defense on
Yeah,
him.
for sure. I mean,
Yeah.
they're throwing a lot of bodies at him for
Yeah,
sure. That's all.
It seems like they kind of know him. And
They have great.
You know?
They have like solid perimeter defenders. Drew Holiday's underrated, right?
you
Every
remember
year,
when
he's underrated.
when Dirk
White's not bad.
when Dirk played Golden State and Don Nelson had the schemes for Dirk.
Yeah,
It felt like that. Like they knew Kyrie's kind of weaknesses,
Yeah.
so to say.
wasn't Brad Stevens the coach when Kyrie was there? I believe,
Yeah.
right? First couple of years. So I mean, yeah, he knows what Kyrie likes. What is his tendencies? Well, I don't know if you know his tendencies because I feel like he freestyles, but I think they kind of have the best game plan.
What shots he's kind of cold at, or what shots
So
he's
they have
comfortable at,
credible
keep him
defenders.
away
That's
from.
what I was saying last
No,
episode.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying like, but it's still Kyrie. No one has stopped Kyrie.
No one's going to stop
That's what I'm saying.
No one's going to stop
He just had an
Kyrie.
off night.
You're just
so
going to
can
make him work.
Boston win one in Dallas, or the next two in Dallas? Does Dallas take them, or
It all
what do we
depends.
think?
Role games. It's all about the role players.
I'm thinking Boston is taking the next one, but they're going to lose one in Dallas.
One in Dallas.
I think one in Dallas.
So going back to Boston for what was that game?
I'm
3-1.
Because I'm thinking Boston in 6. So I'll give you one game in Dallas. I might even give you one in Boston.
I honestly think, because to your point, I think KP playing against his old team, so he had kind of like a umph.
That's true.
Game
That's
one.
true. That's another
Going
one.
back to Dallas, we don't know what he's going to look like, and he's considered a role player because on the Knicks he didn't get his just due and he got hurt. He tore his ACL, and then when he went to the Mavs, him and Luka for whatever reason didn't click. And then the Wizards tried to make him a number one. It didn't work. So now him being the third or fourth option on the Celtics is perfect for him and his skill set. I just don't know if that shit travels. You know what I'm saying? In a game 3 type of situation or game 4 type of situation. Does he show up? I don't know.
Yeah.
It's all contingent upon, honestly, KP.
I mean, he's definitely gonna have a bad game or two. He's that type of player. He's a role player.
Yeah.
What's a bad game for him?
I don't know yet.
12 points.
12 points off the bench.
I mean, 12 points when he was regular.
But we can't
now
have,
coming off an injury, it'll be a little.
we can't I don't want to seem like I'm bashing Jason Tatum, but KP can't have 12 points and then Jason Tatum show what he did in game 1. You know what I'm saying? Like
true.
there has to be, he has to up his level of scoring as well. What?
Oh, how much did KP have last game? 20?
20.
18?
Yeah. But if he has 12,
and Tatum
and
had
then
what,
Tatum
six-
has how much?
8 points?
Tatum had 16, 11, and
16.
That's
7.
8 points, and they won by how much?
But I'm saying, but Kyrie had a bad game, is what I'm saying. I'm saying Kyrie's not going to have a bad game for the rest of the playoffs.
We don't know.
For the
He's
first of the
0 and
finals.
11.
I don't think so.
0
Again,
and 12.
that narrative, I'm telling you, that narrative is going to change, bro. Watch.
All right.
Have we-
7.
have we
You
seen-
heard it. Episode 17. I said it.
So who wins next game?
Or what needs to change?
Yo, this nigga Luka is for real, son. I think he's one of them guys. Like, obviously, he's one of them guys, but he's one of those guys that, like, you keep quiet around him. Like, you keep quiet around him. Like, I don't know. Something about his post-game conference, like, it was just like, all right, cool. And Dallas losing the previous, couple of series, game 1. They know how to deal with it. Jason Kidd's been there. Kyrie, I still think he's the X factor. So I do think they pull it out. They're going to make it a series.
So who wins the next game?
I got to go. If I'm sticking with my pick for Dallas to win it, Dallas.
Okay.
Dallas wins the next game.
I think Dallas.
Dallas
I, think
was
I said it last episode.
And
They split.
Boston.
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 Okay.
I mean,
Just
yeah.
because,
So they go back to Dallas split.
I think
That's
so.
what y'all
They
think.
go to Dallas split is
Boston
what we're
doesn't
saying.
want that.
So what are you saying?
Man, that's tough. I think that based off that the comeback and not quitting at the end, I think that gave them the hope.
They're naive.
And I think that now it's in their head that, like, yo, if we didn't just fuck up in the first quarter, we would have won. I think that Dallas wins the next game.
They got their sea legs underneath
Boston,
them.
and they go back to Dallas with a split.
To your point, though, all right, I understood that they came back and they were able to break that down. But what about if you're the Celtics? We were up big, y'all came down, and we brought that shit right back up.
Right.
Easily.
All right.
Like it was like that.
So the game is about
and Luka's gonna have to average like 40
so
for them to
again,
win.
I go back to the only
They
point
lived
I
down by
made
threes,
about
though.
this was that Kyrie was cold. Had Kyrie not been so cold, they probably would have had the lead. And had they had the lead, it probably wouldn't have been as much of a swing because, again, it's a difference from them coming back and still being down and them coming back and taking the lead. Had they come back and taken the lead, it probably would have taken a lot of air out of that arena, which would have also taken a lot of energy out of that team, and it would have just been a different dynamic.
Well, but
Maybe, did you see Jaylen Brown, my nigga? The seatbelt?
What is that? What is that?
Jaylen Brown is the best player on the Boston
But you can do all
Celtics.
those antics. That's in the heat of the moment. That's fine.
Nah, that ain't fine against Luka.
Exactly.
Again, I'm saying, like, in the heat of the moment, that's, again, great players are going to keep that Kodak. Okay, I'm going to register that up here. And next game, I'm going to kill you. But did you hear how calm Kyrie was, Luka was in their press conference?
Yeah,
That's fine.
that
That's
was
fine.
Like, they were
super
calm,
professional.
bro.
Yeah, that's professional. That's all it is.
It was like-
You're not
that's
going to
a
show that
killer,
you're worried.
bro.
Yeah, there was
something about
definitely.
me that
Like, what do
scared
you
me,
mean?
nigga.
Okay. We'll watch game 2.
And you brought that up, but like,
Killer, bro.
that's something I kind of overlooked. But now that you're saying it, I know Kyrie's mindset is straight killer. You know, if he was 6 inches taller, he'd be the second coming of MJ and Kobe.
Y'all think the Celtics is just about to roll over and let
No,
Who's saying that?
Absolutely
But
not.
We've seen lapses in
I'm
in
not
the
even
Celtics.
saying that the Celtics is going to get blown out at home. I'm not
Not
saying
making
that
me a
at all.
Celtics fan, bro.
But what I am
Nigga, you
saying
made yourself a Celtics fan. Don't put
is
that on
that-
us.
You did it. You did it.
Don't put that on us, nigga.
You did it.
My nigga,
And
you
then
ran,
go ahead,
out
go
there.
ahead, Steve. Go ahead,
Listen.
Steve.
Last episode, that nigga said
Go ahead,
in
Steve.
5. You said Celtics at 5.
And I said,
Pridefully, my
and I
nigga.
said, when did you
And
become
you
a
got to read the
Celtics
black
fan?
bag over there.
So who's in the finals? Who's in the finals?
The Celtics and the Mavs.
So I can't pick the Lakers.
Because they're niggas not in the game.
Nigga,
But the way you're riding for these niggas is
I'm
crazy.
not riding. It's 2 teams, and I'm making the decision picking the
Based
better
off what?
team. I'm picking
Based
the
off
better
what?
team.
You really think the Celtics are that much better than the
Yes.
Mavs? Did they
Yes.
miss 5 games when you initially said? Now
I'm,
you
be-
switch to 6?
I'm being
Are they-
nice saying
seriously,
6.
are they that much better?
Yes.
I don't
As
think
a
so.
team, yes. The
So
best,
what is-
the
so
best
what is-
player is Luka.
What does the Celtics have to do in game 2 to solidify your point?
Continue. Just do what you've been doing.
So
you
Jason
don't have to
Tatum
do
can-
anything
Jason
crazy.
Tatum can continue, and let's
If
just
that
say
makes you win, yes.
KP
Yes.
falls down in numbers.
Then that's when JT comes up, bro.
You think he does that?
You haven't seen JT score?
You think he gets 16 points again next game?
Come on, bro. Oh my
Plus or
god.
minus.
It's not going to be a big. It's going to be plus, but I don't
I
think,
think,
it's going to be big. I don't think it's going to be a
I think
big
Boston
number.
loses with him going over 20.
I was about to say that might be what it is as well. If he's forcing the shots, that
So
might
then they're a
fuck up
great
their-
team, and he's not a great player.
What do you want, bro?
I'm asking a question.
The goal is to win a championship.
I'm asking a question.
The goal is to win the championship.
great-
I'm sorry.
Great
I
players
don't
lead their
understand
teams.
why y'all think if he gets above 20, he's going to lose.
No,
Both
I
him and Jalen average
don't.
30.
I don't think
But they play
that.
the
I don't think their bench shows up the way. Like their bench had over 40 points, right?
Who's your killer in the
I don't think
Pacers?
they're
Oh,
bench
the
don't
Mavs
show up
bench
like
didn't go. Speaking of the Mavs bench, they didn't play well last night. But y'all saw Hardy?
What?
Nah, this dude was not passing the ball.
Yeah, he was jacking
He
up
was
shots.
jacking up shots like nothing.
Again, being young. That's all. It's just being young and it just
Again,
he's trying to play hero ball.
They didn't overreact. They didn't blast anybody in the press conference. They held it down, took responsibility. I'm sure they're gonna have a team. They had a team meeting,
for sure.
and they're trying to get things back together. The fact of the matter is, the Celtics is up right now, and they're.
But it's only one game. You make adjustments.
It's
Those
a
things happen.
7-game series.
So
Right.
what does Luka and Kyrie average for the rest of the series for them to win? What do they need to do for them to win?
I honestly, I think Luka got to average 30.
Only 30?
Yeah, I think he got to average 30.
40, bro.
But I think Kyrie got a average
I just think-
mid-20s.
I think the big men have to just play better. Everyone has to play better and just have to hit shots.
Kyrie got to hit his shot.
And I feel like Kyrie and Luka are going to do the Bron and Kyrie. They're going to have a 40-ball game, each of them, and 1 or 2 games this year. I think they're just going to carry them. There's no way they're too nuclear to like be suppressed. That's all I'm saying.
I think they need to go small. They need to take one
That's
of the
fair.
bigs out.
That's fair.
Lively or Gafford. They don't play them at the same time.
Yeah.
But I think I don't know what's up with Tim Hardaway Jr. Like why is
He's been
minutes?
in and out. He's been in and out of this.
Yeah, I think ever since he got hurt, he's been in and out of that lineup. But I think they do need to go small.
So who they push PJ Washington to the center? And
Yeah, something like that. Or Derrick Jones Jr. Something like you got to force. They're gonna if they do that right. If Dallas goes small, they're gonna put KP in because he can stretch the floor, right?
right.
Fuck it. KP doesn't post you up
Exactly.
from the
No,
paint.
he
He's
He's
a-
he's from the elbow or something like
Right.
that. Derrick Jones Jr. should be able to deal with that unless Porzingis is hot. So I think they should space it out with Tim Hardaway Jr. So you have another shooter in there. When you have another shooter in there, that gives
Spacing.
space to Kyrie and Luka to do their thing. They're gonna have to play how Boston plays. Actually, I think.
And just not settle for threes like Boston does.
Yeah. And I think that's what kind of threw him off too.
Yeah.
Luka jacking up mad threes early on. They said something.
Bad.
Y'all notice what happened with Luka? Because he had to come out the game early, they were saying, and I don't know why.
He grimaced
I
in
thought
the
he had
third
hurt
quarter.
himself.
Yeah.
He was running up
No.
the court. They said his ankle.
Oh.
They said like he was like dealing with
It
ankle
was like in the
injury.
first quarter, early.
Yeah, he like grimaced when he came down. He ran up and he looked like he was in pain. And then it went away. He was good. So I don't know if they retaped him up or what, but
Yeah, I didn't
it
actually
ain't
see
gonna
it.
it ain't gonna stop him
Exactly.
because he still brought it to 8 points after that. So,
But
like,
what they're saying is that's when Boston did their run. That's
Gotcha.
when the separation
oh
occurred.
yeah.
Because the final 3 quarters, Boston only won by 1 point.
Mm.
So they won by a total of 18, but 17 of those points came in the first quarter. The rest of the 3 quarters, they only
See what
won
I
by
mean?
1 point.
See what I mean?
Got you.
So
So that again, that's if I'm Dallas, I'm okay. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
And again, it's only one game, and you make adjustments after each and every game. So, let's see what happens. What do you think? Is Kyrie still the X factor in the series, or does it have to be somebody else for the Mavericks?
I think Kyrie is the X factor because Luka is going to get his numbers at least. You know what I mean? Whatever grade he gets as far as level, but he's going to do his numbers. Kyrie needs to do his thing so that other people could eat. You know what I'm saying? Like once you start paying attention to Kyrie and you have to pay attention to Luka, the others could eat. Like that's why the others couldn't eat the other day. Whenever they played, Luka only had 1 assist. The other guys didn't get involved. Kyrie couldn't get going, couldn't get rolling, couldn't take pressure off the other guys. So they're gonna have to do that.
Do you think that's part of also Boston's game plan? Let Kyrie do what he does and just stop everybody else.
Well, they couldn't stop Luka.
You can't do that because you have a great.
I'm sorry, I
player.
meant Luka.
Yeah.
Luka.
Oh.
You
My
can't-
apologies.
Either way, you can't do that.
Luka had 30 and 10 last night.
Understand, but you can't. Kyrie's not gonna have a bad game or a bad
Yeah,
series.
if you stop those two and everybody, you don't stop those two, but
You're not gonna do that.
y'all scoring everybody. They have to beat us. You're not going to beat the whole team.
No, I mean because they can give you 80 between both of them.
Had Kyrie made those open shots, like I said, they would have had a lead.
I mean, if Boston made some of their open shots, it would have been a bigger lead.
They made a lot of their open shots.
But they
shot
missed
well.
a lot. They missed a lot of shots too.
But to your point, regardless of if Boston decides to do that, right? That's why I think they should go small. So Kyrie and Luka could do their thing, and it could be a repeat of Kyrie and LeBron.
Yeah.
Okay.
When they went crazy
Small.
for those last 3 games of the 2016 finals.
Facts.
So
I did want to address, what did y'all think about Boston's defense last night, though? There was blocks. It was Block City yesterday.
You hype.
Okay.
You hype. You home game 1 in the finals, my nigga. You glad to be back there? Like
I mean, Kristoff gave the team so much energy.
Yeah.
Even Jalen, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like
Because it's Jalen's team, but nigga, that's why.
Jalen's team, but
That's why, my nigga.
but Kristoff coming in hot like he did.
Yeah.
That arena was losing its mind. So those players were so happy for him. Now they pumped up. You see block parties everywhere. Everybody. It was a stretch where like 4 different players hit threes.
2 threes, right?
Ball has energy, bro.
Yeah,
That's all it is.
So
and then being on the sideline for how many? Almost 2 series,
and then
being released.
And
you gonna go
KP
crazy.
pump faked on a 3 and just drove right inside and dunked it. And
Yeah.
I'm like, damn. Like,
But we just got to monitor what his lower body situation looking like in game 2. You know what I'm saying? Like that's all. Is he gonna be the same player? We don't know. Like that could just be all adrenaline.
Right.
Again, not taking anything away from him what he did, but let's see, man.
Basketball already something different. I mean, in a blowout like that,
Yeah.
you look good, but you still played and you haven't played in a while. And you got to be ready to come back again.
Correct.
So we'll see what condition he's in. He hasn't played an away game in a while as well. So especially going somewhere where he's already played, he gonna go in there and they're gonna give all that energy back to him straight up the ass. Pause.
That's true.
And it's gonna be a different environment for him going in Dallas and hearing them boos and all that.
Facts.
So I look forward to the continuation of this series. I did notice that Tatum had he had the little Kobe tribute in the beginning. For those that didn't catch it at home, he wore the Boston Celtics warm up shirt that Kobe Bryant wore when he tried out for the Celtics in 1996, which was for a Kobe fan like myself, it was pretty cool to see that, especially coming from a rivalry team. So shout out to Tatum for that. That was pretty cool.
Okay. Got your number 1 fan in the building. Right?
Hello. What's up? Huh?
Yeah. I mean, do you think? What does that mean? Does it mean anything?
It means he gotta have a big game, man. I'm tired of him doing all of this Kobe
As a Kobe
tributes
fan?
and not dominating.
That's what I'm saying.
Though I'm not a Celtics fan, so I'm not mad.
You're not Serge.
Yeah, I'm not
Got
sure.
you.
I'm a Laker.
Got you.
through and through. You know what I'm saying? Make sure.
Not the colors, but I get you.
No.
It's not the Lakers colors, you know what I mean? But I
It
get
is
you.
what it is. You see it.
I'm just asking the question. Yeah, man.
You know what's on there.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's what it is.
I mean, I don't know.
Come on, man. Don't let him get away with saying
No. Listen, when the Celtics win, I'm gonna rub it in his face.
Pause. But yeah, I get you.
Grew up in the 90s, we knew what we was talking about.
But I don't think Mavs in 7, bro. I just think Mavs in 7. Kyrie's just too talented.
So you
Luka's
see,
just too
you see
talented.
Boston losing a couple more times. I mean,
So-
Dallas losing a couple more times.
I said 7. Mavs in 7.
So after game 1, we still sticking with our initial predictions.
Yeah.
Mavs, Celtics.
Nothing changes to me.
All right, cool.
Alright, cool.
I mean, LeBron is a detention whore, and then recently when the finals is up, he's kind of upset that he didn't get a chance to play with Kyrie. Is Kyrie LeBron's best running mate that he's had throughout his career?
No. Peanut butter and jelly.
Expand.
D-Wade.
On it. I mean, talk
I think
about it.
D-Wade has been his best running mate by far. Came into the same draft, won 3 championships in 4 years?
2.
2 championships in 4 years. You only got one with Kyrie.
And they went to 4 finals, right?
4 finals. You pretty much.
I'm just asking a question.
No,
Went to 3 finals with Kyrie.
Well,
only 3 seasons with Kyrie.
Well, 2 finals because Kyrie didn't play.
he got
on
hurt.
one.
Him and
Yeah,
Kevin Love got hurt in the first
yeah.
finals.
They went to 3 finals. He played in our first finals.
He was injury reserve on the roster, but I get you.
No, Kyrie played our first game in the finals. 2015, he played the first game, got injured in his
Did he?
knee. Yeah.
Yeah, he went down
did?
on his knee.
Oh no, Kevin Love got hurt against
Kevin
Kelly
Love
Olynyk.
got hurt.
Yeah,
Kelly
against the Celtics.
Olynyk
Yeah, you're right.
pulled his shoulder, and then
You're
he
right.
played the very first game.
You're
Kyrie played the first game
But that's the
and
one
went
that,
down holding his knee at the very beginning.
So you're saying
that's the one they got swept in?
No, they didn't get swept.
No.
They
That was
lost
the
to
Matthew
because,
Dellavedova series.
Matt
Yeah.
Dellavedova was there was
Gas.
a
Oh,
gas in
okay.
the-
He was gassed.
Gatorade IV into it.
Okay, yep.
Gas.
So that was sick, yeah.
So what do you guys think? So Ronnie says
What's the question?
D Wade. Who's
Oh,
LeBron's
best running mate?
best running mate?
I'm gonna go with Kyrie. I mean, yeah, I'm gonna go with Kyrie. D Wade wasn't in his prime. Anthony Davis is inconsistent, and D Wade was also injured. I'm gonna go with Kyrie because no other duo has done what they did in the finals when they actually won the championship. Those last 3 games where they both went off. Kyrie averaged 28, 29. LeBron was in the 30s. That's a Kobe and Shaq.
Yeah.
You know what
Stat
I'm
line,
saying?
yeah, yeah.
So
I'm gonna go with D Wade, and the reason I'm gonna go with D Wade is because D Wade is the 3rd greatest shooting guard of all time, and Kyrie he isn't even in the top 5 for point guards, right?
are you going per their career or are you going by the time
Oh,
the time
it's a
that they
couple
played with
reasons
LeBron?
because one, when D Wade played, he played much better defense, and those guys was we underrate how defensively sound they were on the Miami Heat. That was an excellent defensive team as well as an offensive team.
Mhm.
And that a lot of that was because of D Wade, those chase down blocks and all that stuff. D Wade, he actually led the league in steals, I think, one of those years as well. They were just like a dynamic
But also,
defensive team.
Kyrie wasn't asked to be a defensive presence on the Cavs.
And I don't think he could have been a defensive presence like D Wade,
Not that, yeah.
I don't know because he wasn't
But
asked to.
I don't
He
think
had-
D Wade was defensive presence where you talking about defensive player of the year type
he was
presence.
leading the
like-
league in steals. He was doing his part,
AI
He was-
led the league in steals. He wasn't defensive presence.
That's cool. And I get what you're trying to say. But even athletically, I feel like D Wade was much more athletic than Kyrie. He could jump higher, He could cover the court.
I don't know. I don't know about that LeBron years. I don't think he wasn't
That's what I'm
Flash.
saying. Yeah.
He wasn't Flash.
Well, yeah, their first 2 years, even when they lost to Dallas, like D Wade was playing outstanding.
No, I'm not saying. I'm just he wasn't Flash. He wasn't 06 Flash.
And then
that's what I'm saying.
I mean, but did he have to be? He was still good enough for them to win the final. Like, all right, so let's do it this way.
Yeah.
What was the easier championship for LeBron to win?
What?
What was the easier championship? Like, it was hard watching that go.
Probably the 2012 Thunder, a young Thunder team.
Thank you for the adjectives, but again, it's a professional basketball team.
No, I'm just saying. You
It
just
had
said the
3
easier.
future Hall of Famers on there.
I'm just
And
you just asked the easiest.
They beat their ass.
I don't get
right?
what your point is. What's
So-
your point?
So the championship that he won with Kyrie, they had to go to like supernova levels of like
That showed their
unbelievable
greatness.
basketball and
That's their
like
greatness.
tap into like
Yeah.
unbelievable,
That's
you know,
what I'm
levels
saying.
of greatness.
Best do
So
it.
you're
And they
penalizing them for
still
that?
barely won and went to 7 games.
But they
Right?
came
They
back from
also was
3-1.
facing a 73 and 9
That team,
team.
yeah, arguably the greatest
Right.
team of all time.
Either way, they was down 3-1 and they pulled it out. Shout out to them. I'm not shitting on that.
That's what it
Yeah.
sounds like.
But no, I'm not. But I'm saying D Wade made it look easier on his side.
Against the 2012 under? A young,
And
inexperienced
then the
team?
year
It was
after
5
that,
games.
too. It was,
It was. They beat them in
What do you mean?
5.
The year after that was Game 7,
but that whole series they
Allen.
played
and
really
they almost
good.
lost.
But they still played really, really well. It wasn't
No.
So
like
you're saying that Kyrie and what LeBron did in 2016 doesn't compare to
no.
anything?
You're giving me 2 options to choose, and I'm choosing one. They're both really good options.
What
But
I'm
DJ,
saying-
just because I'm
shit.
saying
Yeah.
that
What I'm
I'm
saying-
choosing the other one doesn't mean that the
How-
other one is shit.
But
Not at all.
But I don't want to like.
I just think that
can't compute it.
I feel like D Wade is a much better pedigree of player than Kyrie Irving, with the respect for each position. So again, Kyrie is probably, hopefully, in the top 10 point guards, depending on who you talk to. Where D Wade is undeniably the number 3 shooting guard ever.
He's not undeniably though number 3.
He is. Who
He
else
is.
is there? But
Jerry West, James Harden,
James
Anthony Edwards is coming up. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, what's your favorite Jerry West game?
Hmm?
Stop it.
The one that he hit the half court shot in the finals,
Stop
nigga.
it. Stop
The
it.
fuck, don't ask
Jerry
I'm
West.
talking about consensus.
Luau Syndergaard. Like, stop
I'm
it.
about consensus, nigga.
Bro, I
Stop
still
it.
can't,
Who better,
man.
D Wade or James Harden?
Who better, D Wade or D Wade?
Huh? Some people would say otherwise.
Who? James Harden?
All
Not
I'm
me.
saying is
I don't
Kyrie
give a
did
fuck. I'll
more
go
heroics.
past
Kyrie did more heroics, man. That's all I'm saying. In terms of solidifying himself as the number 3 and that 2006 finals, D
2016.
Wade solidified himself.
Oh, so-
Flash.
Yeah.
Everything else, he was all right.
No, he wasn't all right. He was a superstar.
He was all right, dog.
He was a
he was a
superstar.
su-
The league missed
The knee
him.
injuries, like he talks about, his knees were fucked up. He wasn't himself.
Even compared to what you had seen in 2006, maybe not.
He
but
was
but he was still better than. He's still the second best player on the
Because you
court.
have fucking prime fucking LeBron on your team. That was probably the best of LeBron, arguably, throughout his entire career. Those Heat teams when he was on the Heat teams.
I think the best LeBron was when he returned to Cleveland.
Everyone says the fucking Heat. The Heat.
I don't say that.
But
Yeah, he
Yeah.
learned
He-
how to win, but he
I
definitely wasn't
think
the
that
best.
Cleveland
The
LeBron.
Heat-
2018 LeBron.
was the
nah,
best.
the Heat
16.
LeBron.
I think 2000.
Heat LeBron, bro.
They won the chip in 16.
I know this ain't our topic. I'll preface my statement. Offensively, 2018 LeBron.
Okay.
Offensively.
I'm talking about as a whole.
Yeah, I know.
LeBron.
I know. I mean,
Definitely wasn't
Cool.
Miami.
Just saying.
It definitely wasn't Miami.
Just
if
saying.
you want to take in defense, it probably was
Everything.
Miami.
Because
That's
remember, he
the
lost.
2012-13
He
season.
should have lost to Marcus Gasol, defensive player of the year,
Yeah.
bro.
Okay, yes, I do remember that.
That's what I'm saying. Like he could have swept.
But when they won that year in Cleveland, like he was still lights out. Like his defense.
I'm not
he
saying
lost
that.
like that year. Did he lose like 20 pounds that year?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, when he
trimmed
first
back
got
down.
back.
Yeah, that was
No,
it.
he didn't have a good start to the season that year. When he trimmed down like that, yeah, he didn't have a good start. He had to. You remember that's the season he took 2 weeks off.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
But in the playoffs, he showed up. What we call it? The block. If I say the block, you know what I'm talking about.
and that's what Kyrie also had you know what I mean?
The shot.
So is it
shot.
safe to say you're picking Kyrie as his best running mate?
For sure.
Who you picking? Who did you pick?
Wade.
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 You already said Wade. What you trying to change it
I
now?
ain't say.
I'm
I
not-
had already said Kyrie, but I'm fuck that. I'm a Laker. Anthony Davis.
Stop it.
We got a
They got a
championship.
chip.
The fuck is
They
you
got it. We
arguing
got a
about?
Arguably,
chip.
people say that's the worst championship ever.
It don't matter what
I'm
people
just
say.
saying,
That's the
I'm
hardest
just-
championship.
Yeah,
I'm
they,
just saying.
they do say that. That's
You know
true.
what I'm saying?
All I'm saying, it's Kyrie, dog. And just in the manner of what you did. I mean,
Yo,
granted,
don't do that again.
what?
Yo, that was such an underhand,
What?
backhanded compliment.
What did I
Comment
say?
right there? Some people say it's the worst championship
That's what they said,
ever.
bro. I'm not the person that said it.
And you a Knicks fan?
I'm not the person that said it.
Talk about worst championship. Them two words don't go together, man.
All I'm saying
Yeah,
is,
oxymoron.
all I'm saying is
That's
that's
a
the worst.
championship.
It's just wild.
This is what people say, bro. Don't kill the messenger.
People, who's the people?
Not
Niggas who
Laker
ain't
fans.
seen, niggas who don't got championships.
We got two, dog.
Who is
in their lifetime?
I'm saying we got two.
Well, you can't bring up championships when like Phil Jackson was a player on your team.
We got two.
All right, I respect.
All I'm saying is, as a franchise, we got two. In my lifetime, you know what I mean? We've been there. We got close enough, dog. You know what I'm saying? But you know, it is what it is. But
That's crazy.
what?
No, go ahead.
Kyrie is that. I'm riding with Kyrie. If you guys haven't noticed, I'm a stand, bro. So
understand.
nothing else say.
I love Kyrie also,
Yeah.
but I mean, like D-Wade is the third greatest shooting guard ever.
In 06 he was. He solidified
All
himself.
time.
I'm saying solidified himself then, but he was knees and all that. You know what I mean? Dealing with
How many years
side
did he play?
babies and all that. Huh? I think either 13 or 16 years, one of the two.
He didn't play enough years.
He played. Honestly, he
Enough
was on the
years
ground
for it.
half of his career.
He
Who?
had he not
D-Wade.
been hurt,
D-Wade?
he would have. I feel like we got robbed of D-Wade's like true potential and
His body
a full
broke
career
down on
from
him. And then also he stayed longer in college because he needed to.
Yeah,
in
how long did he
Marquette.
play at Marquette? 3 years?
Four years?
4 years.
I believe 4 years. So like imagine if he came out early, but he went to a mid-major. So it's you got to get seen. So therefore you got to play 3 or 4 years in order to. Now he's older coming into the draft. That wear and tear. You know what I'm saying? So it's
Yeah.
It was really
it's
that
needed.
surgery that he did in college.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
meniscus joint.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like,
Yeah.
again, if he had that in the league and not in Marquette,
Yeah.
things a little bit different. You know what I'm saying?
That was a tough draft year anyway.
No, what do you mean?
That was a good draft year.
Oh, he said tough.
Yeah.
Oh, tough and good. I think you're talking about tough and bad because this year's draft is trash. But yeah, shout out to D-Wade. Shout out Kyrie more though. You know what I mean? Speaking of Bron, is Jeannie Buss trying to find a new Pat Riley?
They trying to save money.
Yeah.
They're trying to hype up the UConn coach because, you know, all we heard and all we've been talking about was JJ, right? And so, you know, they got the podcast with LeBron, and he's the shoe-in, and then he's kind of putting himself out there like, hey, other people might want me by going and showing up at a Cleveland game and all that. So the Lakers are smart. That's a business-savvy organization. And they know that if you know, they always want to get the best, but they're always considerate and conscious of the money that they spend. And it's obvious that they leaked out, hey, we're looking at the UConn coach and all this stuff. One, so that it's not such a one-sided conversation with JJ where it's like no one else out here is like better than me for this job.
Mm.
This guy's obviously got the background and the pedigree.
Yeah.
You know, from a coaching standpoint where he could stand his own against JJ and even conceivably get the Lakers opportunity. And if we know anything, we know that if LeBron had to choose, he'd probably choose JJ because that's his guy. I don't know what you guys think about that. But
I'll go last since you're on the resident
Lakers
fans.
also want to make sure that they get the most bang for their buck. So if you bring in a second person, you can now kind of talk the price down a little bit rather than the price being out of control for somebody like JJ.
You think he's going to be out of control for a first-time coach? What does he
Exactly. Like how much money are you really? Because he can ask for any number he freaking wants.
correct?
Who?
JJ.
JJ?
Yeah, like he could, you know, within respects, like nothing out of control, but because he doesn't have that experience, you haven't seen Buss so much,
Mhm.
but you know, like this is LeBron's guy, and he's obviously got a history of knowledge of the NBA. He's played the game at the highest level, collegiately and professionally. He can sit there and ask for any freaking number he decides, but this kind of brings like, you know, some control over the situation. Like,
Yeah.
you know, that's how I see it. I think it's like smoke and mirrors bringing up the UConn coach.
Got you.
It's a good play by the Lakers.
What do you guys think?
I would have.
No, go ahead.
I would have rather. So my initial thinking, I would have rather like a veteran coach, because my thinking is with hiring this coach, if they go down that route, I'm thinking it in terms of like when they hired Luke Walton. If you had a young squad, if you're trying to build a team, I think you build it with that type of coach. I don't necessarily think he's the best coach for a LeBron and AD.
You talking about JJ or Luke?
Hurley.
Gotcha. Okay.
Hurley.
Okay.
Bringing in a college coach with no NBA experience to be the coach of the LA Lakers, that's a lot. That's asking a whole lot. And then to coach LeBron James, of all people, potentially. We don't know what he's going to do this offseason. But I'm thinking if you go the route of building a team, you go with Hurley. But I still rather a veteran coach.
building a team even with LeBron and AD? Are you saying so? If they build in Hurley, you trade away AD and LeBron?
To me, I don't know what you can you build with that.
No, I'm asking a question. I don't know.
No,
I'm
that's
not a Laker fan.
no, that's my
You're not a
question.
Laker fan either right now. These last couple podcasts, but
My Lakers are not in the finals. I can't pick them.
so anyway,
which one is the Pat Riley comparison?
Yeah.
For Hurley or
I would
JJ?
say JJ from my perspective, right?
Okay.
Because Pat Riley played underneath Randolph, the coach from the University of Kentucky, and just having that tutelage, you know what I mean? Like, and then going into the front office and being an assistant coach. At least JJ has Coach K, arguably one of the greatest coaches all time. He has him on the phone or text him, however you want to do it. He's been on ESPN. He has a podcast, so he's knowledgeable about the game. Maybe that's the route they want to take, opposed to that new shiny object of Danny Hurley winning 2 back-to-back championships. We've seen Calipari, we've seen Patino, we've seen Billy Donovan come into the league and not do anything. Brad Stevens, he was like, fuck it, I'm not even going to be a head coach. I'm going to move into the front office and build a team that way. So we've seen it where these coaches come from college and not be as successful, then also go back to college. They become successful. So for me, Danny Hurley, I mean, you shouldn't do that. It would be a desperation move if they did that for the Lakers. And that's not traditionally how they do things. Even though the last couple of years, they've been kind of like hit or miss on coaches. It's like the last 10 years, they haven't been consistent on coaches, right. And that's not the Laker brand. Like I know, like what was it? Is it Jerry Buss, the brother? Like Jeannie just initially got kind of like
Buss.
got back the reins. So it's like
control,
exactly. So it's like hopefully she can kind of solidify this next move, and it'd be a great move for going forward. But you can't have these like one and done type of situations or 2 and done situations or embarrassment of like you firing a coach.
Do you think that
20 games into a season?
Do you think they've been doing it just to appease LeBron? Because that's kind of LeBron's track record. He's been in 9 finals with 8 different coaches.
Bro, you can't at this point. It's like you got to do what's best for your franchise. You have an aging superstar.
Yeah.
Like you got to do what's best for your franchise.
So who do you think is better?
I mean, it all depends on the direction you want to go. To be honest with you, if AD is going to be your guy, maybe you bring in a JJ, or maybe you bring in a Dan Hurley. It just depends. Like you got to do this with LeBron not in mind.
I think it depends.
To be honest with you,
a lot is dependent on a lot of variables.
But
like,
how long is LeBron going to play? Though
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
I said maybe 3-4 years and he's done.
You think more?
I will say.
I think LeBron plays like maybe 3 years and he's done.
More at this level?
Yeah.
Ooh, how many?
That's a lot.
3. I think we get maybe 3.
How many minutes is he playing? You know what I mean? Like it's then who's taking up those minutes that he doesn't play?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot.
I mean,
it all depends on what you're going to do for free agency too this year.
Yeah, they've been talking about picking up a third superstar, so we'll see.
Yeah, a lot of different names. But I will say this: I work at UConn, and the consensus that a lot of people are saying they don't want Coach Hurley to leave, but they're also saying like if he leaves, it'll be good for him because this is when he's hot. Like he can strike while he's hot. Like this is going to be NBA money, life-changing money. So if it's offered, they're like, "Yo, take it."
It's not about the money though.
I understand.
Yeah.
I understand, but the potential, like it's not college. It's NBA.
They say Hurley wants to leave a legacy. So the NBA is his goal. The Lakers have missed out on a couple coaches because of money. So they're going to try to pay him what they can, and UConn can't match. UConn is used to having coaches want to leave. They had, what was his name? Kevin Ollie?
Kevin Ollie was there.
Yep. So they've gone through this. UConn knows they can't keep him. If Hurley wants to leave, Hurley's gone.
But as a resident Laker fan, do you want Hurley?
You're giving me choices between people that I don't have a clear resume on. Hurley doesn't have an NBA resume. JJ doesn't have a resume as far as coaching.
And it's different, right? It's different when you're a college coach that's winning the title, right? And then you go to the NBA and like everyone makes more money than you. Every player is like how do you get their attention?
I mean, now I don't think the money will be an issue because the coaches in the NBA are making crazy money too now.
But the thing is, but JJ's been on multiple different teams, multiple different personalities that he has to deal with. He's a locker, you know what I mean? Like he's been in the locker, he's been in the trenches.
But you haven't coached.
Of course. I'm just saying Danny Hurley hasn't done that part of it. You know what I'm saying?
But he's coached. They both right now
college,
to me.
But again, college doesn't translate to the NBA
more than
so
not
again.
Coaching
So
does.
then, how come Rick Pitino hasn't had success? John Calipari, they haven't had success.
You named 2 coaches. Brad Stevens had,
but again,
success. Billy Donovan had success.
Two coaches.
Quinn Snyder had success. There's plenty of coaches that's had success. There's plenty of coaches with no prior coaching experience
so
that had success.
as a Laker fan, are you okay with just making the playoffs?
You want to win.
I want to win.
That's what I'm saying. Success is like what did Quinn Snyder do? Did they do anything relevant?
No.
Exactly. Just because you win regular season or go into the playoffs, that doesn't make you a great.
So what coach out there has done that?
All I'm saying is give JJ a shot because he's been in the tradition.
Because JJ has done it.
All I'm saying, give JJ because he's been ingratiated in the NBA culture
because he's won.
He's been okay.
No,
as a player,
he's the same argument that he just gave him.
As a player, he's been to the NBA Finals and lost to you guys in the championship.
Yeah, in his second or third year.
Again,
he has
but
no resume.
He's had solid. He has solid coaches coaching him, and he has coach. He has exactly coach. Even Steve Kerr went into the front office right on the Spurs and also the Suns. And then he went. Look what he did with the Warriors. Granted, he had the Warriors.
I'm not saying
an up-and-coming team.
Listen to what I'm saying.
With no experience, yes.
I'm not saying JJ doesn't have perks in his background that could help him with the job.
So you went Danny Hurley.
And I'm not saying Hurley doesn't have negatives, but right now we have no clear evidence that any one of them could do the job.
I'm asking, who do you want?
If I had to pick, I am more intrigued with Danny Hurley.
Why?
Because he's a coach.
As a Laker, are you going to be? How much time do you give him?
The next coach, I'm trying to give 10 years. I don't give a fuck.
I'm not talking about contract, my nigga. I'm talking about definitive. Like how many fucking years are you going to give him?
10 years, nigga. That's what I just said.
So within 10 years, if y'all don't win shit, yeah, you still riding with him after 2 years?
If he's a good coach.
Stop it, Ronnie. You're gonna wait you're gonna wait 10 years for a championship? 12 years for a championship?
If he's a good coach, we're not losing because of him. We're losing because of the players.
Frank Vogel won a champion. Y'all got him up out of there. Darvin Ham took you up to the Western Conference Finals. Y'all got him out in the second year.
What are you asking me?
I'm just saying, if he doesn't sniff the playoffs, if he doesn't win, you're gonna ride with him for 10 years?
You asked me how long do I want the next coach to be? I want the next coach
in terms of a leash,
a prolonged coach.
A leash. How long of a leash are you giving him as a Laker fan?
If I feel like he's a good coach, I'm giving him a long ass leash.
Stop the cap.
I say like 5 years.
Well, to the point. So the potential is 8-year, $100 million.
Ooh.
8-year, $100 million. And he signed with UConn at the end of 2023 for $32 million for 6 years.
8-year, $100 million.
8-year potential $100 million.
I'm not leaving.
I'm getting the fuck up out of here.
I'm not leaving, bro.
8 years.
I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving UConn.
Granted, to your point, it doesn't even necessarily have to be about the money. It could also just be about the level. It's from college to NBA.
My nigga, you're talking about grown ass men. You got niggas that are my age, damn near. LeBron is damn near my age. Granted, he's the same age. Like him and JJ are the same age, but it's different talking to a college student athlete than it is grown men that have kids and have responsibilities and worth hundreds of millions of dollars.
Can I give you another perspective?
Which one's better?
Let me just give you a different perspective and then just
in terms of
then tell me what you think about it this way.
Go ahead.
So you're talking to college students.
Yep.
In the snow in Connecticut.
Mm-hmm.
You're talking to grown men in the sun in LA.
All over the world.
But also you have the LA media, dog, that you have to deal with on a consistent basis.
Listen.
Bro, it's a different monster,
I'm
bro.
just asking you to look at it from my perspective. Do you want to be arguing with young men that are, may have maturity issues and teaching them how to become men in the snow in Connecticut?
I've done it already.
For $30 million, or do you want to take $100 million, shake your ass down to LA?
I don't want that Laker job.
Right.
If I could be honest, I wouldn't want the Laker job.
You hating, nigga.
I'm not hating at all.
You hating.
I'm not talking because it's just again, it's the magnitude of it. That's what I'm saying. It's like you're dealing with arguably the greatest player of all time.
What is the greatest organization of all time in the NBA?
Y'all not like the fact that again.
All right.
Okay, so yes, greatest arguably, right? Yeah, the greatest organization, but also you have the greatest on the back half of his career.
Exactly. How many people are going to be able to say they coach LeBron? I mean, it's a lot, but how many?
What is that? That doesn't mean anything. That doesn't mean anything. If I'm not
as a coach,
I want to win, right?
As a coach, though,
and you're in the back half of his career, he doesn't. What if we have conflict right out the gate?
Oh, you think?
What if it gels?
Listen, I know you personally.
It's not going to.
I know you.
Yep.
You're not the type of person to to not do something because you're afraid of something that could happen. You're going to do it, and you're going to do it the best you can, and you're fearless. You're going to just do it because you believe in yourself and your own capabilities.
Yes. But
that's you.
Yes.
You trying to tell me that Hurley doesn't feel the same way. I can't ride with that.
It's different
DJ.
when you're in the driver's seat, dog. It's different.
Hurley is exactly. That's why I'm saying Hurley is not sitting there saying, "What if LeBron doesn't like me?" For $100 million, bro, I don't give a damn if he like me.
Okay, so then what if it doesn't work? In 2 years, we're revisiting this conversation again for a new head coach for the Lakers.
I failed,
but y'all got no championships, my nigga.
Okay, but it's not about.
Okay.
Listen, as a fan,
I'm talking about y'all motherfuckers are fans.
Okay,
like as a fan, y'all okay with
as
that?
A fan, no.
Y'all dishing out $100 million to this nigga, and he doesn't prove results. Y'all okay with that?
But you're condemning it already, bro.
I'm not condemning. What if it doesn't? It doesn't happen. It's the Lakers.
And if it does,
all the teams are getting better.
I mean, how do you feel about it? Your team picked up Phil Jackson.
I didn't like it.
Yo, the only coach that I thought the Lakers had the last couple of years that I wasn't fond of, and that I didn't think was a good job, happened to be Byron Scott. After that, I'm not focused on this coach. I'm cool with every coach. I like Luke Walton. I was cool with Frank Vogel. I'm cool with Darvin Ham. I'll be cool with the next coach. Like, it's the players. It's the organization. It's the top to bottom.
It's a total team.
Nigga don't know,
thing,
man.
Yeah.
He a Knicks fan.
Maybe I don't know.
You know what I'm saying? You don't know. You don't know how to look at
so from the
organization
but
and
from
see
the
winning.
last couple seasons, we've had the same amount of coaches damn near, it seems like.
Yeah, except we got a championship.
Y'all got a lucky championship.
Whoa.
That's all.
That was low.
That was lucky.
What I say about the
West? What about the West?
We weren't good at all.
Yeah, so don't talk about bum-ass Heat.
We went through the Western Conference.
And you know what?
Jokic was on that list.
Jokic.
Don't matter.
No, don't do that.
That was our 17th
That's
championship.
What does
if you want to call the previous 16 lucky as well, then you gotta do that.
What have you done for me
lately? The last one.
Yeah, this playoffs.
I'm sorry.
Y'all searching for a new coach?
But 2019 aren't in the playoffs, bro.
Are you searching for a new coach?
Yeah, to win our 18th.
Since when?
We'll get there before the Knicks do. I guarantee you that.
Our coach ain't gonna run us into the ground. Huh? Our coach ain't gonna run us into the ground.
Josh Hart was on the Pivot Podcast. Shout out to the Pivot Podcast.
The Knicks are practicing right now.
He said he changed his ways. He's not as in terms of grueling, in terms of practices.
Damn more
You gotta say that. You gotta say that for the camera.
The Knicks is practicing right now.
Go watch the pivots to get better next year. For next year,
Knicks doing suicides right now.
So it's just
G League, the two-way players,
all dependent upon
who
we got to sign back Hartenstein. We got to sign back OG.
You got to start explaining everything.
We're gonna be good, bro.
Nah, we ain't
gonna be good.
Hartenstein going to OKC.
That's possible. And we just need Mitchell Robinson to be healthy. I mean, we're good, bro. We'll probably get somebody. We're probably building the draft.
I heard Mitchell Robinson said the NBA ain't for him. He keep getting hurt. He don't want to do this no more.
Hey, man. It is what it is. We got Jericho Sims in the wings and all that. He's just
we'll just keep naming names.
Jericho Sims.
That a cowboy?
This is our roster.
It's Jericho?
I mean, I'm sorry. I know my team. I'm sorry, guys. You know what I mean?
Jericho Sims.
And we got a head coach. We got a head coach with experience.
Don't be on the point dropping.
I'm just saying we got a head coach.
Yo,
we're not in search of anything right now.
Don't do that.
You know what I mean? But
Except
we only
championships.
acknowledge one Jericho.
Yo, that's crazy.
That's 1 year at a time.
Yo, we only acknowledge one Jericho on this podcast, right?
Not Ronnie though. You know what I mean? But I'm just saying, like, you know what I mean? That's all I'm saying.
We know that Jericho more than Jericho. What? Sims.
Jericho
Sim City.
He's a high
Jericho
flyer.
Sims.
He's a 7-footer that can jump out the gym. I think he just needed time, and I think next year is his time. So we'll see. You know what I mean? But Lakers ain't shit though.
Yo,
that's what I'm saying.
You wild for using Jericho Sims against the Lakers team.
I'm just saying in terms of youth, youth movement.
Jericho Sims.
Who do you okay? So let's break down your roster then. If we going to take it there.
Let's start.
What you mean?
Again, let's talk about your roster.
What about it?
Trash.
Yo,
our roster is not trash.
You know what we missing? We missing Jericho Sims.
So what happened? So what happened this year?
We lost to the defending championships. Champion.
But again, what happened?
We lost to the
so
defending
was it
champion.
Players or was it coaching? Or was it both?
little bit of both.
It was both.
I would start at the organization.
This is a very vindictive conversation.
It's not at all. I'm just asking a question.
Because
I'm asking the question, bro.
you can give them facts.
You know, it's different when injuries happen.
When you've
It's
won,
different when injuries happen.
that's why we
But
should
it's
talk
different when
about
y'all
that.
lose to
You
a
can
superior
talk about
team.
it because you know it's part of the cycle.
When you lose to a superior team,
That's
right?
why listen,
Y'all lost to
man,
a superior team with less talent.
I
my nigga.
never
We lost to the injuries.
understood what my
Yeah,
mom
you
said.
injuries.
My mom used to tell me you can't have certain conversations with everybody,
That's
right?
I'm just
Because
saying.
some people just not on your level, right?
Yeah.
Now I'm like, Mom, what do you mean by that? But not today. Thank you, Mom. By the way, she interrupted the podcast earlier. That's shout out to Mom.
Shout out to moms.
Shout out to Mom Dukes.
She was definitely right. Like I can't entertain conversation.
What conversation?
Like,
We're having a legit conversation.
Listen, Mom,
Your
you
roster was trash.
Mom, you were right.
Yeah,
You was right, Mom.
trash. Like you're not saying anything. Y'all just avoid.
We don't have to say
What
anything.
roster-
What do you
was your
want?
roster good?
What do you want?
I don't even know why we
roster's
talking
good.
about this, man. Fuck the Lakers, man. Knicks is 6B, you know what I mean? But anyway, on the game point, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Vince
what we
McMahon
got?
being banned from the WWE. Steve, take it away.
That's a bad look.
Take it away,
Huh?
Steve.
Horrible look.
So rumor has it that Vince has been banned from all WWE facilities, including NXT and any affiliates. He's not allowed on any campuses, talk to any of the wrestlers on those campuses. Or
I was reading an article
What's up?
that said, so the gym that he had built for himself, Vince McMahon, at the headquarters, he can't even step foot in
In
it.
his
Like
own
he built it
gym?
for himself, and he's not allowed
Wow.
back in this shit.
See, that's what happens. And pay attention at home, boys and girls. That's what happens when you sell your business.
Hmm.
Even if it has your name on it, they own your name.
In your likeness.
They own your legacy. When you are selling a business, you are selling a piece of yourself. So if you put your heart, sweat, and tears in it, and you decide to sell it, understand one thing. It is no longer yours. It now belongs to someone else. Even if they give you a top executive position in a place that is named after you, you are on somebody else's dime.
Mhm.
And your time can be limited at any point in time
So
when
you-
they feel it's necessary.
Did he fuck up for selling?
Well, he sold, just so a quick little background on it, because I'm not going to go too deep in it, but essentially there was a board meeting to decide after allegations first came out about some of his behaviors, and he decided to step down. There was a board vote to decide on if whether or not he should come back or they should just release him as the CEO of the company. And all the board members voted that he come back, with the exception of Stephanie McMahon, her brother, and Triple H. They voted that he should stay down.
Shane O'Mac.
Because of that, the rumor is that Vince became very vindictive and upset with his family, his immediate family, for voting him off the board, to the point where he said, "You will never own my company." And that's why he pushed forward with the sale of his company, because he no longer wanted to pass it down to his legacy. And yeah, I mean, he got, how much money did he get for selling?
$9 Billy.
He got a cool Billy.
$9. I think it was
Nine Billy.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money, right? And he gets to go home and, live maybe 3-4 years with that money.
But is it worth, from what you just previously alluded to, is it worth that? Like, not having access to your own shit that you've built.
Well, I think deep. Well,
For
let's
30,
go
40
deep.
years.
Let's go deeper than that. He sold his legacy. He sold his legacy to a stranger rather than passing his legacy down to his blood.
But if his blood did that to him,
Okay, but they were right. I don't disagree with him. He's making a fool of himself in the news, which is now a reflection of the company.
Yeah.
Like people.
I mean, if
People-
everybody, if all strangers voted that I could stay, and then my own family voted no, nigga, I'm selling this shit for $1 to somebody, to a complete
Okay,
stranger.
but you out
You're not doing
there,
a
you
dollar,
out there in the
though.
free
I'm
world,
exaggerating.
you in the free world shaking your old ass,
It's shaking it proudly.
getting accused of
Allegedly.
allegedly sexual,
Cause
all
some,
types of sexual assaults and
Shit on chicks.
nonsense. Yeah, things you got no business doing at your age, right?
I don't know.
And me as your son and your daughter and your son-in-law, we represent you.
Facts.
and we represent your company that you created,
Yeah.
and you're tarnishing this. Like their stocks were dropping, right? Like he
But
was
everybody
hurting.
else voted yes.
I understand what you're talking in terms of, I guess, like you're talking in terms of somebody that's loyalty, right? But
I can understand if everybody else voted no, and now you're trying to save face because you did do some abhorrent things, and I don't want to be associated with that. And if you're gonna lose your company, all right, cool. I'm gonna save face, so now I could own it, and we do that. But if everybody else voted that you could stay, and now your own daughter says no,
okay, so let's go down the storyline. So you get upset. You say, you know what? I can't believe you did this to me. You'll never get a dime out of this company. I'm selling my company. You sell the company to a stranger, and then that stranger turns around and lets you go.
I was going to be gone anyway.
So then why does your family, your legacy not in your blood, or is your legacy in your company?
My legacy is people who ride with me.
Okay, so if you're doing wild shit out in the world, right?
I understand that. And it would have been okay for them to turn his back if everybody else did and the company was going to go away. But if I have a chance to save my company and I only lose it because of my family, that's a problem.
But he didn't have a chance to save his company. It's not like he was going to be kicked out of the company. They were going to make him step down as CEO. He was still going to be a board member. He just wasn't going to be a CEO anymore. Like, I don't think he deserved to be a CEO. CEO
he does it.
Should be
I'm not saying that he deserved it. Yeah. I'm saying the way that you explained it to me,
right?
The only reason he lost the CEO is because of Stephanie McMahon.
No, but they voted no, but there wasn't enough votes, so he got to keep it.
Oh,
so he ended up keeping it.
Oh yeah, but I'm still vindictive.
Yeah, that's why he sold the company. He was like, no. So
am I wrong over that? I'm tripping.
No, you're not tripping. I understand where you're coming from, but I understand where you're coming from too.
I mean, you raised me in this company. This is all I know.
Yeah.
It's like I didn't go out and go to college and have my own career. My career was getting body slammed when I was 9 years old.
And in 30 seconds that you forgot all of that and you voted no, that's a problem.
Fair enough.
Now, question: how did he get the company from his father? Because wasn't there some underhanded things with that too?
I see. There's rumors, but I don't really know. Like, what do you hear?
Basically,
that I heard his father didn't want him to have the company.
What I'm saying, like, Apple doesn't fall for.
But it was because. See, what we don't understand the history of wrestling back in the day before New York took over as like a television market there was territories, right? Yep. And so you had like the Atlantic territory, the Midwest.
He had the Northeastern.
Right, Northeastern. And so the territories were kind of like you moved around them almost like mob style. So you couldn't do a show being from the Northern Territory in the South without the permission from the South. You had to check in. And if you did not check in, people been known to die, been killed behind this. Like Bruiser Brody was killed in Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
Harley Race came to the WWF set at the time to kill Hulk Hogan for doing a show there with a gun, burnt the ring. Like these are true things that happen. People have lost their lives behind setting up in other territories. So that was one of the reasons Vince's father was like, they're gonna kill you. Because you're gonna move around crazy. I know you are. And Vince did exactly what his father thought he was gonna do. And he moved around crazy, but he was also very smart about it. He started buying up territories. He created WrestleMania, which I believe just blew up the Northeast. Like New York became the number one territory in the world. Why? Because that's the one we could watch on mainstream television at home, as opposed to like, the Dusty Roads in the South and the Harley Races in the West and everyone else underneath there. So it made it easier to get to know the characters and the wrestling in WWF. And that became the culture of most of us that watch and know wrestling today.
Correct.
We know the Hulk Hogans and the Earthquakes and the things like Mr. Perfects. But it could have easily been, Atlanta, the South, or any of these other territories. It was just Vince that was able to capture the market, hold on to the market, and then grow
the market. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, speaking of offspring, Nick Cannon got 12 kids and all that, but he just recently put a $10 million. He insured his nuts for $10 million. Would you guys do such a thing? Insure your balls?
This a fact?
This is a fact.
What does that mean?
He insured his nuts. I don't know what it means,
He
but it's in the
insured
news.
his nuts.
It's like
Would
when
you do
J-Lo's insured her body for like $1 million or whatever.
Yeah, people like certain body parts they insure just in case something were to happen. You know what I mean? Would you do that for yourself?
Yeah, don't ask me no questions.
So hold on. We got to pause this whole conversation.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, hey, bro, it's in the news.
Is this like a safety thing? Like if something happens to that part of his body, like he's gonna get $10 million?
I believe so. I don't know the full extent of
What?
it.
How much does that policy pay out? Like how much you paying on that? You paying like $1,000 a month?
He got it though.
I mean, yeah, I get it.
I still don't know what this means.
Yeah, like I mean,
Took out a $10 million insurance policy on his balls.
Does it break down as to what?
I'm trying to read on right
Got
now.
you. I'm just saying, you know what I mean? So you wouldn't do that? Any body part, would you insure any body part?
Yo, listen, man. This nigga rich. So I'm taking the blueprint of what he does and, you know what I mean? I follow it. There must be some legal thing or something behind it.
I just need to know what these payments are.
Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying?
You got it though. You're Nick Cannon.
If I got it, but why just that part? Pause. Like,
I
why
mean, that's
that?
probably just in terms of like
10
running off the
millionaire?
fact of like him having 12 kids already, right? So it's a hot topic.
I mean, there's
It could be something totally different.
Nick Cannon is an entertainer, right?
Yeah. Yep.
He's also a businessman. He works
Yeah.
behind the scenes and he's a creator, but he's an entertainer. Like
Yeah.
there's other parts of your body
Mhm.
that you use to entertain
Mhm.
that will probably be worth, I'm just saying, more money than, I mean, maybe not. Maybe that's where your money is right there in the creation of life. But at the end of the day, I mean, your teeth, your face, your hands, there's other things people see on you regularly when they turn on the TV.
That you can insure?
That
It's not the same, though,
that you
I
can
guess.
insure. I mean, I'm just saying.
Just, thought I'd throw that out there as a.
What about you?
Probably my right hand or my right wrist.
Pause.
No, I'm saying, as an artist.
Pause.
As an
Yo,
artist.
that was wild, son.
How?
First of all,
As an
first of
artist.
all,
As an
I'm gonna
artist.
apologize at home for even asking this question.
You should have led with
I'm
that.
out of line.
You should have led with
I
that.
said my
I'm
right
not-
as an
listen,
artist.
hey,
Bro,
man,
listen
listen.
to the question.
Whatever.
As
10
an
million
artist-
on your balls, and then you talking
As
about
an artist-
on my right hand.
Listen,
As an artist,
Listen.
I created with
Listen.
this. I created with
Yes.
my right hand, bro.
Nigga.
So therefore, I'm going to show my right hand, my right wrist, my
Stop
right
trying
arm,
to explain
my right
yourself.
arm. This is what it is. Y'all can be immature about
Out of
this if you
control.
want to. I'm saying what it is. You know what I'm saying?
out of control.
My right wrist, my right elbow, my right arm, bro, is what I create.
Sweat on
So
you.
therefore, I'm going to do
show
that.
my right arm.
So as you guys can see, I created this Allen Iverson piece. So I just want to celebrate
Sure
AI.
did.
Okay.
He celebrated his 49th birthday today. Since these immature assholes want to go to the gut and all
This
that.
nigga
All I'm
was
saying, I would
crazy,
insure my
son.
fucking bionic arm. You know what I'm saying? My right arm and all
I feel
that.
you.
That's all I'm saying.
Now the shit's bionic.
Shout out to AI.
You can't pay with your left?
Yo, dap me with your left from now
Yeah,
on.
for
son.
real.
I mean, I can
Yeah.
if I
Yeah,
focus on it.
okay.
You know what I'm saying? And all that. But
49. Yeah, it's 49.
49,
huh?
man.
Jeez.
Shout out to one of the goats, man.
Man, I go
You have a
over.
great AI moment? Or memory that I can think of real quick?
He crossed
Off the top?
Jordan. That was dope.
Pretty much. That's game point, bro. Right there.
Mhm.
La. Go ahead, Kate for Jordan. You
Nah,
want to say
I
something? Okay.
I was
You know how to
dying,
Kate for
bro.
Jordan?
Yeah.
Nah, I was going to speak my AI moment.
Go ahead.
My AI moment was some hating shit. Because I was hating that rookie All-Star game when he scored like 31 and shit like that. Oh, no. Kobe scored 31. AI had like 11 assists and 19 points or something shit like that. And yeah, I was hating.
96?
Yeah, 96. I was hating.
Yeah, AI, to double down on what
Kobe
you said,
had a hell
Steve.
of a
Like,
game.
yeah, AI crossing up Jordan was probably, I think even
Twice.
before that, like just him in a Georgetown uniform with the Jordan 11s on, with the ankle braces, just like, it was just iconic. And just what he became in the league and just tattoos, changing the league, the arm sleeve, you know what I'm saying? The
Nice.
headband, the cornrows and all that. So having your mom braid your hair on the fucking bench, he was just super iconic. So shout out to AI for sure. Any memories?
I would have to say the Jordan crossover as well.
Mhm.
I mean, that is the most iconic. And really not just the memory, but just his grit as a player. Like he's 6 foot and he gave you everything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like kind of like Westbrook does now. Like you know
And
what you're
Kyrie.
gonna get.
And Kyrie.
And Kyrie.
Come on. Hater.
And Kyrie. No, I'm not a hater.
I didn't say nothing.
I'm about to say, bro, those are the two players that you say if AI or Kyrie was 6'5" or 6'6", the league is in trouble.
Yeah.
Those are the two. After that, it's no one else.
John Stockton.
Stop it. Stop the cap, man. Although he was nice, but you know,
man, he led the league all time and still
A
assists.
6'5" John Stockton.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
What does that
you got,
equal?
I mean, we're going off topic, but you got
Yeah.
Karl Malone, you know, the mailman, second, third, and scoring all time. You know, so it's a little different. Shout out to AI crossing up Jordan, but we got a sneaker of the week here. We got the Jordan 2 on the table. The Jordan 2 is the sneaker that Jordan broke his foot in his second year, obviously. Bruce Kilgore created the shoe. Jordan didn't like the shoe, but it's still like an iconic silhouette that he's created. Jordan's had 3 designers in his tenure with Nike. Yeah, Peter Moore, Bruce Kilgore, and then you had Tinker Hatfield. Tinker is probably the most popular designer that Jordan's created. He's created from the 13 or the 3 through the 15. He took a hiatus because his dad died and all that. So he's created the 17 as well that came with a suitcase. But this silhouette is iconic. It's so sexy to this day.
You saying he didn't like this?
He didn't like it because
he didn't like it.
the leather of itself was like a little bit heavy. Just shoe in general was just heavy.
It is a heavy shoe.
Yeah,
it is almost like
probably one of the heaviest.
So if you think about from going from the 1 to the 3, like this was probably the heaviest out of the 3. You know what I'm saying? So he just wanted to trim down on the leather and the patchwork and things like that around the ankle support. But shout out to Bruce Kilgore, shout out to Peter Moore, and shout out to definitely Tinker Hatfield. Yeah, and we got Serge's thing, Game of Thrones coming up, season premiere. What is it? House of Dragons or some
House
shit?
of Dragon.
I don't even know what it is anymore.
Next Sunday. It's just coming back on. Back on air. HBO Max next Sunday.
What do you
One of the
take away
best
from
series.
this? Do you like it as the prequel?
House of Dragon?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Wait, so
It
it's before?
it's a prequel to prior
oh,
to.
so it's before the first book.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, so is it like Tyrion and all that?
No,
Like
no.
The
this-
Mad King? It's before the Mad
Oh
King?
wait, but it's
It is a couple hundred years before Game of
yeah,
Thrones.
it's before. It's
Oh.
before that. So
I
it's
mean, I
before
haven't
the
seen
Mad
it.
King. Yeah.
The House of Dragons.
Word.
This is
I
going to
don't
be
know what's
before
on.
the Mad King.
Interesting.
The Mad. If I'm not mistaken, I want to say that comes either possibly this season or one of these next stories.
Oh.
What? The Mad King? Because it was before. The Mad King is before Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Right.
But they're building to that.
so
if
the
I'm not
so the
mistaken.
ending is probably going to be the Mad King.
That's what I'm thinking.
Okay,
but
so
they
it's
have other
before.
series. They have other series that are going to be broken down
Oh,
in the
dope.
Game of Thrones.
The Mad King
universe.
wasn't in Game of Thrones.
No,
he was
no. It was
alluded
just
to.
referenced.
He
Yeah,
was the last one
reference.
to have the
Yeah.
dragons before.
Okay, but that was years, hundreds of years.
Before,
Okay,
yep.
okay,
What do you
okay.
expect from this season? Like learning from what you've learned in season 1 from the new prequel.
Bro, watching a episode of Game of Thrones is like watching a movie from time to time.
I
Like
gotta
it's
get into it.
high quality to me.
Mhm.
It's high quality. Originally, I'm not into like things that the settings take place like hundreds of years ago. I like modern day.
You don't like period pieces.
I didn't think I did.
Got you.
I loved Game of Thrones.
Okay.
I don't know what it was,
What made
but
it
I
different?
loved everything. It was everything. I think the main thing that attracted to me was how they were able to capture multiple characters,
Mhm.
multiple stories, intertwine them beautifully, like, and everything made sense.
So you never felt lost within the series?
No,
Nah.
I never
Okay.
did. No, it's
and you're
it-
right, it is a lot.
it's a lot to follow, but they make it easy. Like
House of whatever this new was joining.
That's-
I definitely
okay.
felt lost in that shit.
Me too.
to his point,
Yeah.
House of
because
Dragon.
no,
Yeah, for
because
sure.
this season though they were like maybe it would spend like 2 episodes in a certain decade, then fast forward. Then these niggas are older now. Like it was a lot of different cast of
Yeah.
characters. It was hard to keep up. I'll give it that.
So they were
But-
like revisiting old shit kind of thing? Like living the past and
sometimes.
present moment?
No,
Got
they
you.
started from the past and
Got
then they
you.
just went to the
Backwards?
present. No,
Oh,
went
got
to
you,
the
got you,
present.
got you.
They just, it seems like for the House of Dragons, just the new one, that they try to just fit a couple hundred years. And like it was just one season.
One
thus
season,
far,
bro. It was like
yeah,
eight,
so they
maybe
try
8,
to
9
fit.
episodes.
I mean, too much.
So you felt rushed? You felt like it was rushed?
Yeah, like every episode was like its own.
Got you.
You know what I'm saying? Like
And not
sometimes you
cohesive?
just miss. But you know what I mean? They're trying to tell a story. They're trying to get you to a spot so you kind of understand and kind of get it at the end. But coming from Game of Thrones, where you were engulfed in every episode and it carried over, and like you said, it was like a movie.
Yeah.
This one just felt a little disjointed and a little rushed.
Are-
Now they took 3 years or 2 years for it to come back, so we'll see how they do it. But like you said, what? It's only 7 episodes.
7 or 8. Yep.
For this
For
second
this
season?
season. Yeah. It's not that much.
Are they a dynasty still? Game of Thrones as a whole? As a
For
whole?
sure.
They
sure.
are for sure, but I think that's also what they're trying to capitalize on too.
Yeah.
Like the success of that first series I think they tried to put a lot into
Was it
House of
successful?
Dragon.
I don't know if it was successful or not because I honestly didn't watch it.
I mean, I hopped on very late.
Was it as popular as the original?
House of Dragon?
Nah.
Not as popular, but it had it's popular. Not
Because
as
they created
popular.
their own
No, I'm
Yeah.
just
fan
asking.
following.
Yeah.
You know, so like once you get that cult following,
Yeah.
like we was talking about with Smallville, like I'm always gonna watch Smallville,
Mhm,
right?
mhm.
So like we can agree that if another season of Smallville came out, I'm already 9 seasons in, 10, whatever.
10,
season.
right?
So I gotta watch the next one, right?
Yeah.
Invested.
So we all watch.
I'm still waiting on it. For real.
I've never watched it a day in my life. I've never watched I've watched like the first episode of House of Dragons. I just couldn't get into it. To be honest with you.
You saw the other ones.
Oh yeah, I seen the original. The original was fire, but
I gotta check it out.
House of Dragons,
Which is funny
wasn't
you mentioned that.
that
I've heard
It
people.
wasn't as good.
that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
I've heard the reverse, where I've known people that aren't fans of the Game of Thrones, but they're fans of House of Dragon, which is weird because Game of Thrones to me is leaps and bounds better.
Yeah, it's a great exactly.
Not that House of Dragon sucks, but it's different.
Are you what are you expecting from what you left off with from season 1 to introducing season 2?
I mean,
If you can remember.
that last episode was when. Did you watch Game of Thrones or House of Dragon?
Game of
I mean,
Thrones.
they left on a high note. That's when the kid was riding the dragon and he got killed at the very end by the bigger dragon. So it left on a cliffhanger,
Gotcha.
so to speak. And I'm expecting that to be addressed.
That first
immediately.
episode is going to
It's
be
gonna
crazy.
It's gonna be the
fucking
stamp
crazy,
of like
bro.
how the season.
That's
gonna-
how, like, that's
gonna
what
set
Game
the
of Thrones
tone.
was. Like, they'll kind of keep you stringing along in the middle episodes, but like those episodes, like the first episode, the last episode, or the
Mid-season,
Yeah,
some shit
you
like
know what I
that.
mean?
to tie, yeah.
those special episodes, they're gonna have you.
Okay.
You're gonna watch the next 4 episodes just because of that
See,
one.
that's funny because like for me, like I've only read the books, right?
Yeah.
Mm.
So I've never seen the shows, but I've heard people be like, "Yo, the Battle of the Bastards,"
My nigga.
right? Like, yo, but I remember reading that. I'm like, yo, I didn't have to wait till next week to see what happened. Like I read all the books,
You knew what? Yeah.
you know. So I'm not putting the book down until I get through this part right here. You know, this is it right here.
Mm.
But I can imagine waiting week by week for that new, and then waiting to the next year, and then waiting to the next year. Like
That's too much.
that's
dog.
that's.
I mean,
different,
some people.
right?
I mean, I caught my shit
That's
on
OD.
demand.
Yeah,
That's-
that's when I caught it
That's
late, so
OD.
everything was already
Yeah,
out, and I was
that's OD.
just catching up.
Mm.
But they execute so well.
Why do you think they do it where it's not bingeable? To keep the interest high?
Yeah,
I have no idea.
You know what I'm saying? Why wouldn't they just let it
because
available the entire 7 episodes? You know what I'm saying?
if it comes out on Monday, everybody's finishing it on Monday.
But I'm saying you don't think the numbers will. I'm saying the numbers will still be the numbers.
Would
No?
they?
I
No,
think so.
Just for that immediate.
You don't think they
No.
build followers? Like if I go to work and I'm like, yo, episode 1's out, you need to check out Game of Thrones.
Mhm.
Now you're gonna go watch it.
Yeah.
Episode 1, and then you're gonna watch episode 1, then catch up on episode 2.
Yep.
And then you go and tell some. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like it'd be the same. I feel like it would be the same thing.
But think about it
I don't know.
nowadays. Like when there's a documentary or something out, it's hot for the moment, but after about a week or two, if that shit were to just come out on Monday, we're not going to be talking about it next.
do you
month.
remember season 1?
season 1
Is it
of
in
what?
entirety? House of Dragons.
House of Dragon?
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's only one season.
there's only
No,
one
I'm saying
season.
some people don't remember the entirety, so they have to rewatch it before the second season comes out.
That's a
what
good
I'm saying.
thing.
Yeah.
That's what-
you're now rewatching.
You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm. So I think it would just. I feel like the replay value would be the
Yeah,
same.
you
That's what
want to
I'm
be
saying.
hot for a weekend, or do you want to stretch these 8 to 10
Yeah,
episodes
which is
out
why
for 2.5 months, 3 months, and now you're the topic of conversation every week for the
Every-
next 3 months.
yeah,
I feel
rather
like
than
that's
a
typically
weekend.
how it is.
No, I'm saying I just feel like with this one, I feel like it would. I don't think it would
Especially if they're
change.
leaving it on cliffhangers the way they're saying that.
Yeah,
You know, then that's because I can remember just crazy stuff in my head from reading it, like when the brother lost his hand, you know,
Yeah.
or the war when they went down with the queen and they had the queen out there naked walking up the streets.
Bro,
like,
I think you would like the visual of the show.
oh, okay.
Because what you explain is what
it's
happened on the show.
exactly what happens
but
on the
that
show,
was like
bro.
interesting stuff.
You
But
love it.
I also have read the book, so there's certain things in the books that I was told they didn't translate into the show.
Mm.
So
But that's with everything, I
yeah,
think.
you know. So I don't know. That's cool.
you good over there, Ronnie?
Yeah, my bad.
I mean, this is Running Point, man.
Oh, the
I
bad boys.
mean, hold
the bad
on.
boys.
I mean, you know, This guy. You said bad boys. You talking about the bad boys, right? Yeah. I get it. The Knicks are the new bad boys. You know what I'm saying?
That's not what we talking about.
That's what you're talking about, right?
No, that's
you're
not
right.
what
They are
I'm
bad.
What are we talking about?
We're talking about the bad boys.
Knicks.
No.
Bad boy.
We're talking
You know
about
what I'm saying?
Will Smith, Martin Lawrence, the bad boys.
What you
Y'all
gonna do?
watching that? Y'all going?
Bro,
I'm going tomorrow.
Bro, I seen the.
So
it's
it
a
came
date.
out already?
It came out. I just seen a commercial. It just looks too Fast and Furious to me now. It looks too for niggas that are like 50 years old. They're doing. It's not the same.
but you got-
First of all, you don't do that.
It is.
Don't do what?
The commercials.
It's an action. They've always been action movies. They
It's
never
like Will
advertise
Smith's
anything less
alley.
than action.
No, bro.
Bad Boys. Like that franchise is all action, right?
I was okay with the second one. After that, the first one was a classic, of course, but the second one was But then the third, it's like I don't know if I want to see the
one
fourth.
again?
That was Miami. The Haitians, they were doing the Haitians.
Haitians,
With,
yeah,
South
at
by
the
Sea, you know what I'm
beginning.
saying?
Gabriel Union?
Yeah.
So what was
Being
the
a
third
sister.
one?
Third
his
one,
daughter. I mean, his
daughter.
son. You know,
Forgettable.
found out
Exactly.
His
See?
son. They had his son was like
Damn.
putting hits out on all the people that put his father in jail. Then Will Smith found out that was actually his son. The son didn't know that Will was his father.
Trash.
And the
It
Exactly.
was a lot. It was a lot.
Trash,
Yeah.
bro.
We talking about this one that's coming out right now.
No,
We seen
This one is coming-
we seen-
See? Forgettable, bro.
you never saw Bad
I
Boys
saw
3?
I seen all the Bad Boys.
No, you
What
didn't.
are
Clearly
you
you have it,
talking
bro.
Bro, am I not talking about Bad Boys
He
3?
don't know. Serge don't know either.
It's Bad Boys 3. That's a scene where
Trash.
they had Easter eggs to the Bad Boys 2 scene where the girl's boyfriend came and they were married or some shit. Or they're together now.
Yeah, explaining it. See, it's forgettable, bro. Stop.
No.
So
It's
you
not
explain it,
Bad
you
Boys
explain it,
3 to
you
me. I
explain it.
cannot-
All right.
I don't remember it, so I
there's-
can't explain it.
There is
'Cause it's trash.
a woman that gets broken out of jail by her son. And her
So
father,
this is
the
Terminator?
father was a
This is Terminator?
kingpin drug dealer or whatever. They said that they're going to get all the people back who put their father away, right? So the son's on a rampage to get back all the people that had something to do with his father going to jail.
Trash.
All the judges, all the police officers, everybody.
I don't remember this.
The chief of police ends up getting killed in it. The one guy that we've watched through he gets killed in it. He gets sniped by Will Smith's son. Now, Will Smith's son is the cliffhanger at the end, we find out. But they slowly realize that they're all being hunted down, right? This was before.
Yo, you talking about the new movie, my nigga?
Nah,
Isn't
this
this
is
the
Bad
trailer
Boys
that I
3.
just seen?
I don't remember third. I don't remember the third one, honestly.
No, you're so capped right now.
I'm
You're
dead
just trying
ass.
to make a point.
I'm dead ass, bro.
No, but
I'm telling you, the first and
but at
second
the
one are the
end-
classic
but at the
ones.
end of the day, they end up going back
It
over.
sound like you talking about Gemini Man or some shit. What is you talking about?
Just
Yo,
catch up on it,
Bro,
Catch up
I'm
on it.
telling you, like, I don't
I
honestly.
don't remember
three.
Bad Boys 3 right now.
I
I'm
don't
dead
remember
serious.
Yeah, so I mean, the daughter, Martin's daughter got married in it. And
Yeah.
they had a baby.
Mhm.
I remember that part.
Yeah,
But that's about it. That's about it, dog.
Martin like had so Will gets shot. He gets assassination attempt is made on him. He gets shot like 7 times.
Will Smith?
He ends up in the wheelchair.
Oh, no. Wait a minute.
Yeah,
I don't remember this.
He ends up in
Wait,
the
wasn't
wheelchair.
there a scene with was that Bad Boys 3 with his wife, Martin's wife, and Will Smith?
That was part 2.
That was part 2.
So
Yeah, bro,
Will ends up in the wheelchair. He's in a coma for I think a couple months or however long.
Really?
And Martin
Yeah.
retired from being a police officer. So Will comes back and he comes out of the coma. He walks at the wedding and he's like, "Listen, I want to get these dudes back."
I got it.
And he's like, Martin's like, "Well,
That is starting to make me
Yeah,
remember
yeah.
this whole getting somebody back. Like they was going after somebody.
yeah." So he started going after the dude that tried to assassinate him.
Nothing.
And then
Comes
he
to mind.
finds out they're going after all these people from her old case.
Can you see where you can watch it
Then
online?
he takes Martin with him.
I'll
Martin's like
send you the link.
babysitting and stuff.
I got you.
Then they find
I
out,
don't-
he's at this place about to kill this dude. They go there. They try to
All right, cool.
stop
Chill.
him.
I'm about to watch Bad Boys 3
All right,
tonight.
cool.
I'm not,
Yo, I don't even.
bro,
It's
I'm
good.
Yeah.
I'm not
I'm
wasting my
about to,
time, bro.
for real right now.
It's
I can't
good.
remember
Yo,
this shit.
I don't remember
I
it.
might be
think-
biased, but I'm just like a Will Smith and Martin Lawrence.
No,
fan.
no,
I was
I'm
just
not.
gonna say you're not even gonna watch it because of that. Just
It just looks
That's
too
crazy.
It looks too CGI-ish to me. You know, that's
Really?
all. For
Niggas-
50-year-olds.
I think that's what we expect.
If it was-
They can't move.
No,
You,
I'm saying,
you always make your argument
yeah.
by stating the obvious.
What I'm saying is
We
like
know they're 50.
let's just
ain't no 50-year-olds doing what they about to do.
Which is why it looks
That's
fake.
why we're going to see it.
Nah, man, I'm keeping my $20. No, my nigga.
Yo, movie theaters is expensive.
Right, bro. I'm
nowadays,
keeping
yo.
that. I'll wait till
I
it
will
goes
say
online.
this though. I think Will Smith, it's more up his alley. Like he's always been that action
course,
guy. Like
but he
Martin
looks-
Lawrence more so. I
He
can
looks
see
goofy
where
too,
it's
though.
like
Martin used to be like action for a minute. You know, he had his
Only
action.
95. The
no,
original.
You know what I'm
Blue-
saying?
What is it? Blue Streak
When he
and
was
what
running
else?
Chocolate City, and all
95,
that.
bro. Only
You
Bad
know,
Boys won.
It's a thin line between love and hate.
Martin had his
Yeah, he had a
little
couple.
Yeah,
He had a
of
couple.
course.
He had a couple. He had a
But
couple.
not
Yeah,
athletic,
yeah.
nothing. You know what I'm
No,
saying?
nah, he was moving.
He was a
Nah,
cop. He
was
was
in-
yeah,
he was
moving.
Yeah, no,
You
for
know?
sure. Black Knight and all
Marty
that.
Martin,
Yeah.
doing his things.
You know what I'm
Speaking of
saying?
Marty Marr, I gotta
Yeah.
know because we on the subject.
Yeah.
Yo, my favorite Martin episode ever
Mhm.
is the joint where he loses his CD player
Oh,
and he lines
the New Jack
everybody up
City,
in the
yeah.
room and he redoes New Jack City.
Yeah.
And he was like, Cole, sit your $5 ass down
Yeah,
for
big
my
change.
change. And then he had the Rottweiler that was stuffed, but he was moving around the room. Like, and all the cast
Was laughing.
had no
Yeah.
control over their body.
Facts.
And that's got to be one of the funniest
it's-
television shows,
It's too many.
scenes
Yeah.
that I've ever seen.
Because then you have Dragonfly Jones coming into Gina's
Oh,
apartment. You know what I'm saying?
Silence.
You got that one. I mean, my nigga, you got all of it. And then you got the Great Pay robbery where, you know what I'm saying? Like he's in all
Yeah.
army fatigue.
Yes.
He beats up the dummy. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah,
there's so many different ones, bro. You got Hustle Man in the kazoo. Pick up some
Oh, my
pieces.
Yo, the
Pick
one
up
they
the
on
pieces.
vacation,
It's too many, bro.
when they on vacation, they fight
Bro,
that little.
right, bro, it's too many. It's too many,
that
bro.
is
Bro,
It's
the
about
back
too
and
many,
forth
bro.
between Martin and Pam.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
too many.
Love it.
Classic.
It's
Classic.
too many. Even the Dead Plumber. That episode, you know what I'm saying? So it's
Oh.
like, it's too many episodes, man. Shout out to Martin.
I will
Yeah.
say the one that sticks out though that
Yeah.
had me laughing. I don't think it's a popular episode, but the episode where Martin is a fitness teacher, where he tries to
Yeah.
be a fitness teacher.
Yeah, and then
He doesn't
Gina
eat
breaks
food,
him
and then
down? Yeah.
Gina breaks him down with the food. This nigga's licking the food, like doing all that extra shit. That was my favorite.
Yeah.
My mama biscuits.
No, mama biscuits.
My mama's biscuits.
I mean, you can go on and on. I mean, even the DMV.
Oh,
When he
yeah.
fights with Jerry, you know what I'm
Rick-
saying?
he's like
And then-
Richard Roundtree.
Yo, that nigga got a lot of classic scenes.
Yo,
So his
bro.
scene with Tommy Hearns, he came out with
Yeah,
the big
right.
head
Yeah,
at the end of the
right,
episode.
bro. Like,
Oh.
come on, man.
That's
Like,
a
it's a
classic.
classic fucking show,
Ooh,
man.
real-
Season 5 is trash. But anyway, other than that, the other 4 seasons are dope, bro.
Just real quickly, just want
Yeah.
to end on this real quick.
Mhm.
Martin and Fresh Prince.
Martin,
Martin.
hands down.
Fresh
Martin.
Prince, bro.
Fresh Prince
I
is
gotta
more
go Fresh.
rewatchable to me than
Stop
Martin.
it. No way.
Martin.
Martin, I gotta take a break
We
from.
No
gotta
way.
vote in the comments on this
Yeah,
one.
for
What
sure.
y'all taking, Martin or Fresh
You gotta
Prince?
put that. You gotta pose that. Martin.
I will say this though.
Martin.
It's tough, son.
My mom, my father have watched Fresh Prince.
Yeah.
I've watched Fresh Prince. My brother, my nephew. Like this is going down generations. Everybody watches Fresh
But
Prince.
would they understand Martin, your parents? Not just
Yeah,
gonna
they
your
watch
parents?
Martin too.
And they don't like Martin?
I'm telling you what it is. Everybody watches
No.
Fresh
I mean,
Prince.
granted, they have
I'm
moments.
not saying Martin is bad.
Fresh Prince has
I
moments.
feel like Fresh Prince was more like of a black family, like a more realistic than the Cosby black family. Like the Cosby's was like doctor and lawyer.
Cosby was the
Like-
highest you could
Like
get.
even though he was a judge and everything, and they were rich kids, it was just like more relatable because you had a kid from the hood and you could kind of relate, and it was funny because it was family. But
If
like,
you're really looking at
but
the family,
Martin-
Cosby was
Cosby
more
was
relatable.
Cosby was lovely though.
But bro, I mean,
I guess it depends on how you grew
bro,
up.
just think about it. You got Otis,
Yeah.
you got Otis, you got Shanae, you got Martin, you got Tommy, you got Stan, my nigga. Like, you
Yeah,
got
but I'm
iconic.
putting on Will like
But I'm
that
just
nigga
saying-
wasn't hilarious.
No. I'm just saying, like the iconic figures is what I'm saying. As a totality over
But
the
again,
show.
like Martin was more adult, a young adult man, has a career,
And a girl.
trying to figure it out,
And
got a
cheap as fuck.
girlfriend.
Remember that nigga turned off the heat, my nigga? For
Yes,
$5?
Yo,
Right, my nigga,
Almost died at the door.
Come on, man.
Random spoons.
Right.
Hey,
Right.
Random Spoons. Yo,
My nigga,
Yo,
come on, man.
dishes on the stick.
Oh, your dad?
Come on, bro.
Right. It's
Right,
time.
bro. Come on. What we talking
I'm
about?
dipping in molasses. You're having me dying, son.
Not only the
Yo.
Vernell Hill show, and then he
Oh.
posed as Jodeci,
Oh
my nigga.
my god!
At the end, come on, bro.
Okay, so
Iconic.
here's what I'll say.
Iconic.
I think Martin might give you the bigger laughs, but Fresh Prince is the more consistent.
No, but
like
if-
you could like.
But even they're great shows, but also like for me, like the perspective of like you and your girl's relationship. That's what Martin Gina was. The ups and downs, the ebbs and
Yes.
flows of it.
What about Lisa and Will?
But it was like a marriage.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying?
Not in season
Yeah,
5.
but why you acting like
Not
when
in
you was
season
watching
5.
that shit,
Not in season
95 when
5.
you was married, nigga.
That's
I
what I
watched
said.
it.
I
But
was
it was just
like,
like, it was
so
raw.
that's 5
It was
great
like more
seasons
raw.
to their
Like,
4.
nah.
it didn't feel as
It
safe.
was raw.
It didn't feel
Bro,
as
you didn't
safe
have a-
as
you
like
didn't have a
the
whack
Fresh
season with
Prince.
Fresh Prince,
Like, Fresh
But the
was
Fresh
safe.
Prince was a better show.
The last
It
one.
was a
I
better,
don't- I don't think so.
all
The last
around,
season. I didn't
more
like the last
depth.
season.
Nigga,
I could see
I
why
cried
you, I
during
see.
Fresh Prince.
Or when he was like, "Why won't my daddy love me?"
No, that was a great
So
scene.
that's probably the only iconic, if you really think about it. How come you don't love me, man? But how many? But how many?
Nah,
That
we
touched
will
everybody,
go through the
nigga.
drugs. Carlton
My
with the
father
gun
right there
scene.
next to me. I said, "Nigga, crying."
But you're not even laughing.
I'm not. This is not a laughing
But I'm
scene.
just
You
saying,
said
it's
iconic. I
just
said
saying-
Carlton with the gun. Will going crazy with the drugs. Ashley going through the sex thing with Steve.
But again, you're not bringing it down.
That Carlton scene when he was in the hospital,
When you got-
I've never went from laughing to crying in a split second. That scene when Will and Carlton's in the hospital and Carlton's on the bed and then he throws the food.
I was going.
Yo,
I was going to
I
eat
was
that.
crying because this nigga just got shot. And then he did that. I started dying.
Bro.
Will Smith was the better show.
Oh.
son. I'm sorry.
Stop it.
Nah,
Fresh
you
Prince was the
bugging.
best.
Stop it, bro.
Nah, you
Or show.
bugging. You bugging out.
Yo,
My nigga, when
Will
they
put in
had
the
when
comments, Fresh
fucking
Prince
when
Martin.
fucking Stan had the hearse, my nigga, on a date.
Dude.
No, Martin,
No,
so that was a comedic
when
show.
Tommy got jumped by the little people.
Right, bro. That's what I'm saying. My nigga, come on, bro. You got Jerome, my
Yo,
nigga.
rest in peace to Tommy, bro.
Right, rest
Hey,
in
yo,
peace to
every
Tommy.
Jeffrey scene was funny.
Every Jeffrey scene was funny.
Yo, when everybody got kicked out the house, it was funny.
Facts. Facts. The Halloween
Carlton
episode.
was funny. All that. Come
Bro,
on, man.
Shanae was funny.
Facts, bro. Come
Jerome
on, man.
was
You
funny.
can't go wrong.
Dragonfly Jones said, "I studied under Bruce Lee. He was on the 5th. I was on the 4th."
On the 5th floor.
Yo, on that
I
note,
said
come
Joe
on, bro.
Rogan
Come
in the hat.
on, man. Take us home.
Like, come on, bro. I mean, but,
He definitely had iconic characters, but
but that's what I'm saying. As a totality, every
For-
episode is
for
a
me,
slap
it's
if you
fresh.
think about it, bro.
Nah. Not every
every-
episode's a
But
slap.
from season 1 to 4 was slaps, bro.
make sure to say wonderful.
Not every
Wait,
episode
and
was a slap, but every episode
When they kill Mama
of
Payne's
Fresh
bird?
Prince was a good episode.
When they kill Mama Payne's bird, like there's so many different, you know what I'm saying? The Cuckoo Clock episode, like there's so many different episodes. The talent show episode.
When Big Shirley threw up on the plane.
Right.
Oh no, I did like the Biggie episode because
Word on the street, my nigga, you know what I'm saying?
Hey,
But you know what I'm saying?
I mean, BDB was
she was
fine
doing
on
when she
BDB.
was doing the
mean, but-
Biggie dance.
Yeah.
I mean, Word on the Street is Runnin Point is the best podcast out there. Like,
Sir.
subscribe and all
Oh.
that. If you found this episode to be dope, click the link in the bio. We out of here, man.
Peace.
Peace.
Yeah. Yo, make
Well,
sure these